Hey there, hello. It's Wednesday. What day is it today? December 19, and you're listening to the Next Level Game of the Year Deliberation, Day 2. I'm Emin Basavan, and with me are John Danho and RXZ.
Raise the
What
roof.
up? Yo.
What's happening,
Last
guys?
episode of the year.
Last episode of the year. Big episode of the year.
Yeah.
We're finishing up our top 10 list.
El
Yeah.
final.
Yeah.
El finale. Oh man, I've been mulling it over since Monday, honestly. If you guys have not caught our last episode, go ahead and watch that to see how we arrived at the list we're discussing today.
Yes.
So we have our
and-
top 10.
so we have our top 10.
Three
we have,
honorable mentions.
Yep. And we have a whole bunch of accolades that
Yes.
we're going to give. Also, if you go into our YouTube description, you can find a Google Doc. And in that Google Doc is going to be the list that we're going to be updating and we're going to be messing
Live.
around with.
Yeah.
So yeah,
go ahead and
check it
open the
out.
list. Yeah, open the Google Doc list. Take a look at what we have right now for our top 10, the honorable mentions, and the accolades that we want to give. And if you're unfamiliar with certain games, you can like Google them and just take a look at what they look like, what we're talking about, just so you have an idea of like what games we're referring to. Do we want to start with the accolades, or do we want to start with that one big major change we need to make?
Oh, yeah. Let's do the major change.
Yeah.
Arg, do you want to
Sure.
take over?
So we found out after we completed our episode Monday night that there was one game that we had forgotten about that I really loved. We all really liked this game.
Yeah, I like the
We had played this game before when it was early access, but it was finally released in January of this year. That's why we forgot about it. It was so long ago.
Yeah.
Subnautica.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Subnautica deserves to be up there. In fact, I'm bumping down several of my choices so that I can fit Subnautica into the top 10. So I'm going to bump down Moonlighter off the honorable mentions list, and it's just going to receive an accolade instead. I'm going to put Northgard down to the honorable mentions from the top 10 list, and then I'm just going to put Subnautica up there on the top 10.
Yep.
Yeah. And we've yet to decide where it's going to go on the top 10, but it's going to be up there. And
Yeah.
I think it's a good choice, man.
Yeah.
Subnautica
Yep.
was rather cool. It's free right now, by the way.
Whoa.
Is it
It's
really?
free
They
on
made it free?
Epic Game Launcher.
No
if you
way.
download the Epic Games Launcher, it's free. You could just download it and play it.
It's unbelievable.
It's a very good value for free. It's a great game.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely recommend
Fantastic.
it. We'll talk about it more when
highly,
we.
highly recommend Subnautica.
I remember we did a glimpse into
We did.
And it was
like
cool.
a while ago. That
was
like
really
that
cool.
was that'll be interesting to look back at because like so much of the game has
Yeah.
changed since then. So
I replayed
Yeah.
it. When it was
Oh,
released
yep.
in January, I played the whole thing from beginning to finish. I hyped the game up for Hike. Hike was looking for a new
Okay.
game to
He
play.
loved
He
it
bought
too.
it. He
Okay.
played through it. He loved it. We like connected talking about like all the crazy things happening in
Right.
the game. It's really awesome,
Yeah,
man.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cool game. I remember you used to be scared of deep ocean
Deep
in
ocean
video
water.
games.
Yeah.
And this game, like maybe
It was just
had
really
you
fun.
confront
It's
your
just
fear.
part of the fun of the game because it's so creepy when you're in
Yeah.
the ocean.
Yeah.
So like if nobody knows what Subnautica is, it's a game you play like on a planet where it's all ocean. Like it's all just like aquatic life.
Yeah.
So you're like in a submarine all the time. You have like underwater bases and stuff, and it's like
Yeah.
gets creepy too. There's
We'll
fucking
definitely
Yeah.
dig
sea
into
creatures.
it.
So
Yeah.
one thing that you might not know, you could play that in VR. It's a VR game
I
too.
know. Yeah, that's so awesome.
imagine that,
Oh
dude.
man, that's so
That'd be
awesome.
really scary.
Yeah, I would.
VR is the best.
Yeah. So what's the most scary game this year?
Oh, is that one of the accolades?
That's yeah.
I don't know.
Dota 2.
Oh,
No.
dude, I mean, I'm actually surprised one of our accolades isn't best VR game, but I don't know if
I
you're
have
the
not
only one.
touched VR at all,
I
man.
heard
VR
a
has
lot of
been-
VR games have been cool this year, dude.
Mm.
That's what I've
there's been a
hearing.
handful I've been interested in. Like Beat Saber seems awesome.
That's what I
gotta-
heard.
I got to give that a try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe next year.
Yeah.
I have yet to try out the Gladiator game.
Oh fuck, man.
Go
yeah,
on.
we
Have
got to
that
do it.
Little date
I know, man.
with the VR.
Like sometime over the break,
Let's
we're
do
gonna
it.
have a lot of free time.
Let me
so
know.
I'm very down.
Okay.
Let's get into
Let's
this.
dig
get
into the
it. So
accolades, eh?
yeah, let's do the accolades before we move up to the top 10.
Sure.
But yeah, so the honorable mentions, like just to mention that before we moved on, like that's basically locked
Yes.
unless like some crazy shit happens in the top 10, which I don't foresee.
Yeah.
So we have in no order, we have Gwent Thronebreaker,
Mhm.
Into the Breach, and Northgard.
Yes.
Those are three very solid games.
Yeah.
Like it's a good trinity. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good. It represents our tastes in
Yeah.
a lot of ways.
Yeah. People should try them out.
Yep.
Definitely.
Especially Into the
Thronebreaker's on
Breach.
sale too.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's on
Cool.
sale. Very good value. So about $20. Probably one of the best RPGs you could play for $20.
Cool. Okay, let's get into it. I'm just gonna start going from up to down.
Yes.
And then we just decide as we go.
Okay.
So we talked about this last week. Sleeper hit.
Fortnite.
We have it to Fortnite right now. Is anyone opposed to that?
No.
As loath as I am to even mention that game, I understand
It's
the
like
logic.
we sort of have to.
It's a sleeper hit.
I understand the logic, but can you re-explain the logic of what it is that makes it a sleeper hit? Because someone might disagree and might not think, well, what do you mean it's a sleeper hit? It's the most popular game.
It's like
Why
kind
do
of
you
like how I
think?
see it. It's like a surprise, like coming out of nowhere and being a hit. And it was like this time last year, we didn't even know what Fortnite was.
For me,
Like it was a very different type of game. It used to be like a horde mode game,
Yeah.
and then they once they saw how popular and how good PUBG was, they completely changed everything. And then suddenly, like literally overnight, it became a hit.
Yeah.
for me, it's only a matter of them having more viewership than League of Legends.
Yeah.
Like having the top viewership on Twitch for like such a long period of time. That's all I need to know that it was like a big deal.
Let me tell you, it's kind of interesting. We've talked a lot in the past about Minecraft and how like pervasive Minecraft is
Yeah.
in culture and everything like that. I literally see Fortnite and Minecraft in the same thing right now.
Mm-hmm.
It hits the kids in the same way. It's everywhere, advertised on every platform, in stores. I was at the Microsoft store today, and there was Fortnite and Minecraft right next to each other, like just like plushies and fun things and like gift cards and things like that. So literally same vein. It's truly like these games are just geared towards children, and they're very popular in that regard. And that's not a bad thing.
No,
I'm
it's
not
like
saying
whether
that's a
you
bad
like it
thing.
or not, like it's kind of a cultural milestone now.
Yeah, it is.
Like it really is.
Yeah.
But
Okay, I'll grant it. So that's the accolade
Yeah.
for Sleeper Hit.
not necessarily it's a game that any of us like or play, but you know, it is what it is. It
its
deserves it.
Place.
Yeah.
It deserves its place.
All right, moving down. We have best free to play game, but we haven't really done too much of that. So I think we're just going to,
No.
you know,
Cut
it is
Yeah.
what it is. Yeah,
None of that.
we're just going to get rid of it.
Gone.
Best style. My vote strongly goes to Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Yeah. I think that was the reason why we were hyped about it in the first place, because of just the way it looked, just sheer aesthetics.
It's so clean.
Yeah.
It's so fresh. And like whenever
Yeah.
whenever they do their super and stuff, like it goes from what looks like a 2D plane to 3D. Like just the way that they deal with that it's really cool.
the backdrops, the backgrounds, the sound effects, the music, just aesthetically, like stylistically, it was like I didn't even care if it was going to be a bad game. I just felt like I needed to have it just because of the way it looked.
Yeah.
It was so good.
I concur.
Yeah.
Yeah. Best style truly is quite an aesthetic experience. I love watching it still on Twitch.
Yeah.
Every now and then I'll catch it.
I watch tournaments on YouTube. And
Yeah.
stuff.
Really, yeah. It's just
oh yeah,
fun
and the
to
tournament
watch.
scene is going so strong.
Yeah, it
and
is.
Yeah,
I think
cool.
I think it's the game of choice of like serious fighting pros
That's
right
what
now,
I'm
right?
saying.
It is
Yeah,
right
it
now.
It's
has
a
like more than
competitive
like
scene.
Street Fighter.
Street
and stuff
Fighter
like
has
that.
kind of like fallen by the wayside in this last few years. Like it has not been doing that hot.
Yeah, I think I'll say this. I think fighting games in general are on the decline, other than Smash. But Dragon Ball FighterZ is like the monument propping that genre up competitively.
Right
That's
now,
the
yeah.
way it seems from an uneducated outsider perspective.
Yeah.
So take that for what you will, but it certainly has the best style. I implore anyone to just watch a YouTube video of like a fight in DB Fighter Z,
Yeah.
and it will resemble the anime.
Yeah.
It will
Yeah.
literally resemble the anime, and I'm not exaggerating. Take my word for it or not. Watch it for yourself and make your own decision. Truly, it resembles the anime like
much
1 to
so.
1,
Yep.
almost 1 to 1. Yeah. All
Cool.
right.
Yeah, so there you go. Next we have most detailed game. And then under it we have most graphics. So it like, you know, like but both of these categories seem kind of similar, but they're very different.
I see.
I'm kind of down to like combine them or like get rid of one of them.
I
Get
wanna
rid of
make-
most graphics.
I would actually say if we keep most graphics, I don't think it should go to RDR.
Oh,
Yeah, I think God of War takes it.
for most graphics.
For most graphics, dude, it's so dense. Like in the moment when you're looking at things,
I can
and when
agree
you're
with that.
like in the
Then-
cinematics. and
okay,
when it's-
well, then in that case I wouldn't want to lose most detailed game. Then I would give
Yeah.
most detail to RDR.
yeah, I would
Yeah.
keep both and
Okay.
do that. Yeah.
Let's do that.
At least that's
Yeah.
the way I look at it. So Red Dead Redemption 2 is certainly the most detailed game, because we're not just talking details in graphics. We're talking details in every aspect of the game, be it the beard that grows on your character,
Oh, yeah.
the fingernails getting dirty maybe even on your character, like all these little things, like you doing chores
All
around
the
camp.
animations, man. Like there's so many little animations for every
Yeah,
little thing you
every
do.
little thing.
It's so unique and like it's cool. It's
And
yeah.
by far the coolest game to ever do like drunken escapades in.
Red Dead Redemption
Yeah.
2. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
the
was
way
When
they
you
deal
get
with drunk
drunk
is
with
really
the,
good.
with what's his
Yeah,
name?
your
Lonnie?
your friend.
Lenny? Oh man, that was some
That's
of
a
the
good
best
mission.
shit.
That
yeah.
was so like weird and creepy. I was like, "What's happening, man? I can't believe a game is doing this right now."
It was very fun. It was very fun.
Remember when we streamed the episode with Avo and we were trying to steal that wagon that had like oil in it
Yep.
or something?
Yeah.
Yep.
And the detail in it was when they were shooting it and it
Oh,
was
yeah.
popping holes from like
Starts
different
leaking.
corners. Yeah, and it was leaking.
Game. Oh, and this is funny. Someone actually, my friend Kevin just messaged me because he's watching. He's like, a game detail for RDR2 is the horses like they take shits.
Oh yeah, that's
As
right.
you're just
yeah,
as you're
totally.
just trotting
as you're just like
along.
walking
Yeah,
around
That's
town.
true. That's
very
correct.
true.
That's funny, man. Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, and their balls shrink in the cold. The horses.
Apparently.
Are you serious?
Yeah. When it's snowing or when it's cold, their balls shrink.
Huh.
That's pretty funny.
Sure.
Someone had to do that research, I guess. Next up, we have most cozy. Which
Oh wait,
we have going.
are we not doing most graphics then?
Oh no! Oh yeah,
We
yeah.
are. We gave it to God of War.
Yeah, I already put it in, but like,
Oh.
well, let's talk about it before
Well,
we
just
move on.
very
Yeah.
briefly, if anyone just plays God of War, the reason that I think it should deserve most graphics is because all the graphics are much more in your face. Like,
Yeah.
it's not as detailed, but the
It's
graphics are so
vibrant.
dense and vibrant. Yeah, that's a great word for it. Rich.
Because it's not as open world
Yep.
as RDR. Like it kind
So
of
they
pushes
can
you
do
on a
more.
certain bit, so they could do more.
Yeah.
So they could like focus more on like specific bits.
Yep.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
think
Just-
most graphics going to God of War just makes sense.
Yep.
So we dropped down Moonlighter from honorable mention, and we're giving it most cozy.
Most cozy. Yeah, it was the coziest game. Not too many games I finished like from beginning to the end, top to bottom. But Moonlighter I did because it was just such a pleasant experience going back to it every time. I could always just spend a little time playing it. So
Yeah.
I just
Totally.
ended up getting through it, you know?
I would recommend anyone who's curious about Moonlighter to look at one of our past streams this year where we played it.
We had an
with
episode.
one of your friends, right?
Yeah,
from
we had
work.
an episode. We played it. We did quite a bit in it so that you get a really good sense of what the game would be like and if you would enjoy playing it yourself or not.
You're an adventurer that runs a merchant shop, or maybe a merchant that adventures, however you want to
Yeah,
balance
right.
it, and it's cool.
That
yeah.
was the main catch of like why I even got the game was because they combined those two mechanics that I love in games, which is one like trading, selling, mercantile like aspects,
and adventuring.
and adventuring, exploring, dungeoneering, like looting.
Yeah, it's
So
very
you get
cool.
to do both.
It's a cool little twist. It's like you're the shopkeeper to the heroes. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
cool.
And you're the hero. You're the hero and the
yeah,
shopkeeper.
It's cool.
Yeah, I like
Before we move on, I'm gonna crack a window.
it. Yeah, it's hot in here. Yeah.
Crack a
Well, I'll
window.
just say the next one. Okay.
Let's start it up.
So, best redo or remake or remaster or whatever you want to call it. Best redo, I guess, is the best way. Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Now, I think this is an interesting category because it gets it almost by default in a lot of ways, because it is like one of the only games that's like been 3 games that's been completely redone. And
Yeah, that's right. It's 3 of them.
Yeah,
That's the
3 of
entire
them.
trilogy.
And I think it's a very good. It looks beautiful, plays like the old games. It's akin to the Crash Bandicoot.
It's just a remaster,
Insane
right?
trilogy.
It's not a remake.
No, it's a remaster. Yeah. But it just looks good, and it captured my imagination for a couple
Yeah.
days, and I quite liked it. So
I played
certainly
I
best
played that
redo.
first Spyro game quite a bit as a kid.
Yeah, it was my choice over Crash.
I wish I had an argument for Dark Souls Remastered, but I didn't spend any time with it, so I'm just gonna have
Yeah.
to give it to Spyro by default.
I can tell you, I've heard about the Dark Souls remaster, and the Dark Souls remaster just like it's catching up to things that people have already done to Dark Souls, like on the PC. So it's cool that the Switch has it, but
I've heard the Switch's port is a little weak though.
Yeah.
That's the stuff I was, but like it's the
What are you
Switch.
gonna
It's not
do?
that
Yeah.
strong.
Best trash game.
Yeah, best trash game goes
Shell
to
Shock.
Shell Shock Live.
Truly,
no
what
words
did
need
I?
to be
You know
said.
what? Can we not call the accolade that? Can we call it best McDonald's toy?
I really like
yeah.
best trash game
Trash
because
game?
it's something we did from last
Yeah,
year.
yeah,
Like
it
I don't
is.
want to lose it.
Sure.
I really don't want to
though,
lose it.
Truly, Shell Shock Live. Like I blame Audik and Armen for my time, my 20 minutes of that.
I
game
had
wasted.
I had a really good 5 minutes.
You played it a bit.
Yeah, I played it a little bit, and then just Armin just became a savant.
So best game we
Whoa.
missed last year, Persona 5.
Wait, did you think? Whoa, what just happened? Oh, you were editing it?
Yeah,
Okay.
What did we edit?
I edited
what
out
happened?
something that made no sense.
Well, what did you edit out?
Something that doesn't need to be spoken of.
Oh, come
What?
on.
The dirty little secret.
No,
is,
that's
no,
Oh,
staying.
no, that's
it's
staying.
it's there. It just was like
Bro,
there-
you
it
got
was-
rid of something. Bring it back.
It was there twice. It didn't make
Oh,
sense.
okay,
It didn't
okay.
make
Oh,
sense.
whatever,
Yeah.
Okay, so then
Um,
best game we missed last year.
Yeah, Persona 5.
Persona.
Persona 5. Mahed is like the fan number 1 of that game. He turned a lot of people onto it. Shahan included. Shahan played quite a bit of it. I don't know if he finished it. David loved it, but at the end of it, he got sick because it was always on the screen.
Oh, sure.
But the music is really cool. They're adding the DLC character to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Joker, who's the main character in Persona 5. It was a game I wish I played, but given that I watched so much of it via Maher, I feel like I got, I don't need to play it.
Yeah.
Certainly missed last year was Persona 5. We didn't do our due diligence in that regard.
Yep.
Maybe we were turned off from the anime aspect of it, but in general, it was a very, very good game.
Yep. If we talked about it last year, that was a strong contender for best style. I think the style of that game is like very, very strong.
Yeah.
Even from the menus, man. The menus look so good.
Yeah, they are. Especially when you do merchants, like you go and buy stuff. The menus in the merchants are very cool too.
Yeah.
All right,
cool. Next up, we have best fighting game, which I think we're just going to cut this one.
I think cutting it, yeah.
Because we're going to have that conversation in the top 10 talk. So,
yeah.
Goodbye. Best puzzle game. I am a very big puzzle game fan. I play a whole bunch of them. And this year, like over 100 of my hours went to Money Puzzle Exchanger. So that's kind of the one that I nominate. I played a whole bunch of other puzzle games this year too. Tetris Effect, Mini Metro, like a whole bunch of other ones.
Mini Metro was kind of cool.
Mini Metro was kind of cool, but like it is an older game. I think it's just came onto the Switch this year, but it's been out for a little. Yeah, I recommend everyone, if you have a Switch, please check that game out. It's very good.
Yeah, I'm down. This is your accolade.
Yeah,
hand it off to Money Exchange or what?
Yeah,
is it?
It's an old game, Money Puzzle Exchanger. It's sorry,
no, they're money bags.
Money bags, yeah. Yeah, I think it's from like '85. It's like some arcade game from the '80s, in Japan only. So how about that?
How about that?
Some
man?
import action.
The Nipponese.
Yeah.
All right.
So next up we have. How about we save this for later in the list?
The console.
Sure.
Of the year. Yeah, we'll save it for later.
Biggest blunder, not necessarily a game, but in an event.
Okay, here's the thing. I truly advocate that the biggest blunder goes to Fallout 76. The reason that I do is because I feel as though if we're thinking of cultural touchstones, Bethesda games are way more far-reaching, and you guys might disagree, but way more far-reaching than Blizzard games, especially when the main blunder of Blizzard is happening at BlizzCon versus the whole release of an entire game of Fallout 76.
It's a good argument.
Like, everybody knows Fallout 76 failed. Not everyone knows about Diablo Immortals. Not everyone cares about Heroes of the Storm. Like, those are niche things. And while they are big blunders,
but
they are not the
like,
biggest blunders.
I wouldn't necessarily say that they're niche things. Like Blizzard is a very big company.
More niche.
BlizzCon,
How about that? Like, it's like less universal.
But I don't know about Fallout 76 because it failed.
And it's like
I do.
So I don't even know about it.
Oh, well.
Because it failed. You know what I mean?
I know it from its failure. Like, I know so much of it because of its failure.
Okay.
And every week there's a new failure regarding Fallout 76. Like,
it's like I guess getting a little bit meta, but like this is sort of our list, and I feel like just Blizzard in general, like it's a company that we talk about here a lot, and Heroes of the Storm is a game that me and Arik have been playing for over 3 years now.
Yeah.
Like it's been very close to our hearts, and like them just killing it is
It was a blunder.
It's
the biggest blunder.
I think it's the biggest blunder.
so
Like when it like necessarily comes to us, I feel like that just makes a little bit more
so
sense.
I
You
would
have
actually reword the accolade. Then.
a game
I
and
would
an event.
I wouldn't even. I mean,
Game
that's
and an event?
that's
A
one
game and an
possibility.
event.
But I would even say rewording it to say the biggest shame. Because
Okay.
because it's not a blunder in the regard that we're thinking of. It's more of it's a deep shame for our for our next level.
Well, so is
that this
Fallout
has happened.
76 too.
No, because none of us were excited for Fallout 76. That's what I
Oh.
mean is saying
Yeah.
like it wasn't
I guess
as
it's not a
prevalent
shame.
in
it
our
wasn't
thing.
prevalent for us.
I
So
think
then
rewording it
two
to be a
different
shame.
accolades, a shame
I don't
and a blunder.
Oh, like keep them separate?
I don't even think we need biggest
Maybe.
blunder. I don't even think Fallout 76 should enter the discourse if we're getting rid of biggest blunder. I think
Well,
if we call it biggest shame,
Mentioning big titles, if we wanted to mention big titles, if we were going to say anything at all about Fallout 76, then giving it an accolade is like not a
Yeah, like
terrible idea.
we can give something for Fallout because it was a
Like
disaster.
you said it is a
biggest disaster? I don't know.
it's a disaster.
it is.
I like blunder. Biggest blunder for it is
Yeah,
good, and you could just add biggest shame for Blizzard's convention.
Yeah,
I
I'm
would
down for that.
I would. That's my
That makes
suggestion
sense
anyway.
to me.
Why not?
Because
Because
like,
it is a huge shame.
because of like BlizzCon and Heroes, like I feel like we definitely need to mention it. We definitely need to mention it. And Fallout 2, dude, like you said, Fallout it's just so far-reaching. It's so big.
For those of you who are tuning in and don't know what we're talking about, very briefly, for the Blizzard stuff, is at BlizzCon, it's a primarily PC crowd, and they were making a huge Diablo announcement. So everyone was expecting either a new iteration of Diablo, some announcement about like maybe the current Diablo, whatever. Instead, they announced a mobile game called Diablo Immortals, and everyone in the audience was just floored with how disappointed they were, number one. Number two, it's become a meme by how the Blizzard devs got trolled, and they responded by saying, well, doesn't everybody have a phone? Like, what's the big deal? Blah, blah, blah. I mean, they just handled it very poorly. And then coming into the future just like a week ago or less, maybe even this week, I don't know.
I think it's been a week, yeah.
It's been about a week. They have stopped their support for a game that Oregon, really love, which is Heroes of the Storm. So the biggest shame is maybe we just call it Blizzard's handling of their IPs. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a big shame.
Right now,
their Battle for Azeroth is declining in absolute trash. Overwatch, I don't really keep up with. Hearthstone, it's always going to be a cash grab. So, say what you will.
What's next?
We have Most Potential, which we have going to Artifact right now.
I agree.
But yeah, do you agree?
I agree.
I could see something else going
game.
to that, but I can't really. Yeah, I can't really think of anything right now.
The only thing I would think of that has the most potential beyond Artifact is another card game, which is Gwent.
Sea of Thieves.
But I don't.
Who they've been working on it all year, and the potential
Artifact.
Dude, the Artifact really does have the biggest potential.
It does. Okay.
Because it has the most staying power. Valve is going to stick by it for a long time. Like Areg's been saying, one of his biggest criticisms is they need more heroes in it.
Yeah, so
the
that's
second
potential.
they get a bigger base of heroes, that's going to change the nature of the game.
Yeah,
I can imagine Artifact literally becoming the top game in like 2-3 years time. It'll be like one of the most
if they
played
deal
games
with this
of all
entire
time.
situation correctly, depending on how they introduce new cards, are we gonna force people to buy it, or it could go so many different ways. So definitely a lot of potential there. Next up we have Best Party Game.
Overcooked 2.
Yeah, it has to be Overcooked 2.
I give it to Overcooked 2. Again, you guys, whoever's watching this, should definitely watch our past stream we did of Overcooked 2. That was a lot of fun, a lot of frustration, a lot of yelling, a lot of joy, crying, of laughter.
Dude,
Very great time.
I think you were the only one that was frustrated, homie.
No.
Oh no, dude! I was equally
frustrated
frustrated.
too.
Yeah.
All of you were?
Yeah, man.
I was
that game.
not
Oh yeah, man.
frustrated
That game
at
can
all.
get very frustrating.
Dude, I was having fun the entire time.
No, I was having
It
a
was
fun time too. But
no, there was a certain point where I was like, the controls are getting in my way. Like, it was getting in my way.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, I truly felt that. It is a really good party game, but playing it just in an hour and expecting me to love it is like quite a huge thing.
No, I think going to Best Party Game over Mario Party, I think is
100%.
deserved.
Mario Party's
very much
whatevs.
deserved. Cool. Next up, we have Wish I Played It. Right now, the 3 games we have here is Destiny 2, what was the expansion called?
Forsaken.
Shadow of the Colossus, and Kingdom Come Deliverance. My vote will go to Kingdom Come.
Okay, I'll tell you right now, I don't care to play Shadow of the Colossus, so that isn't even in my Wish I Played. Like, that's a meaningless game to me. As much as it is cool, I don't care about it.
I don't know. Kingdom Come, but then Destiny 2 Forsaken is a big deal.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to decide. If I said Destiny 2.
Well, have you seen Kingdom Come in action?
Not really. That's
I think it would be way up your alley. It's
Yeah.
like how I liked it. It's like Skyrim, but medieval. It's like that's kind of what it seems like.
No
Yeah, very
magic.
grounded.
It's
Yeah.
like just you're a guy trying to live your life.
It seems cool.
Destiny 2's.
I
but
actually
the Destiny 2 is very close too, so
I
could be swayed either way.
I actually
I'm not
throw it
necessarily
onto
sold.
Destiny 2
Okay.
because I've mentioned several times
Then
that I
let's do
wish
that.
I played
Okay,
that.
then let's do that.
That's just my
Sure,
take
I think
on
it makes sense.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I think Destiny deserves at least an accolade somewhere.
Yeah, and Sean's been really selling it, and I watched him playing one of the raids, and it looks super fun. Like, I really wish I played it. I really wish I was super interested in it like him.
Yeah.
So I do. Yeah, it's a perfect accolade. I wish I played it.
Dota 2, huh?
Next up, we have Dirty Little Secret, which is a game that we always come back to, and we just don't like to talk about it.
Incorrect.
You're playing it right now, or
it's not a game that we always come back to because you have not come back to it yet.
Oh, bro, yeah, I have. I've been playing here and there. I've been playing what is it? Oh, not Overwatched. Shit.
Overthrow?
Overthrow. Thank you. Yeah.
Really?
I've been playing.
Then
that.
let's play Overthrow.
I'm down.
Tonight.
All right. I'm down. Sure.
Oh shit!
Dirty Little Secret.
All I'm saying is it is a dirty little secret.
It is a fucking dirty little secret, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very dirty one. Shouldn't even be on this list.
It's there, big boy. If I could, I'd put it my game of the year,
I
man.
want to uninstall it again.
Game of all years, dude.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Cool. Next
Biggest
up,
waste
we've
of
got.
time.
I mean that.
yeah, that also
perhaps-
goes to Dota 2. over 1,500 hours in that godforsaken
Oh,
thing.
how cute, man.
How much do you have?
4,000 plus.
You have 4,000?
Yeah, bro. I played that game quite a bit in my life.
What about Sean and Hike?
Same, about the same, I think.
I have less than them.
You have
I
less
much
than
less than them.
You have
Much
less than me?
them. I might have much less than you too. I don't know. I should check.
I should check. I might not be 4K, but I'm like up there.
Yeah.
I
I'm
might
really
just be around $1,000.
Fuck, man.
I played not that much of that game.
Yeah, I'm a little over $1,000.
Quickly realized it's not
Yeah.
a game to
It's
be
great.
played with.
It is
It's
great.
a game that plays you.
Yeah.
It does play me like a fool, like a fiddle,
Yeah.
a foolish
There
fiddle.
you go.
Cool.
All right, next.
Best
Next
package.
up, we've got Best Package, which we
Dead
said
Cells.
last week, or like Monday. Yeah.
Well
It's going over
deserved.
Dead Cells.
Well
Very
deserved.
well
Yeah,
deserved.
yeah,
I
yeah.
It is a very
highly
good
recommend
package, yeah.
everybody plays it with a controller, not keyboard and mouse
Yes.
controls.
Yes, yes, yes.
Controller.
Controller
Plug it-
goes as
plug it
well
in.
with a lot of games. Yeah, I'm playing Ashen with a controller.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about
I
Ashen.
should do that.
Talking about Ashen, that is our winner for late entry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it just got released, I don't know, a few days before we started our first episode.
Yeah,
And we didn't really have a chance to mess around with it too much.
I've played it several
Um,
hours since Monday. I like it. We
Yeah.
were just talking about it before the stream.
Mhm.
I definitely appreciate it as my winter break game.
Mhm.
That's where it belongs in my mental and emotional capacity.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we're giving it late entry because
Yeah.
it's kind of something we wish we all had a little bit more time with.
And the final one.
And the final one, we have Console of the Year, which is PC, Xbox, Switch, mobile, or PS4. I think this year we're going to be giving it to PS4.
I definitely agree with that. PlayStation 4 has had a very strong year, and it looks to have an even stronger year, if you could believe it, coming into 2019. Truly an astounding machine for gamers. It is in very many ways. I know they got a lot of controversy and a lot of flack this year because they weren't doing crossplay over other consoles, which were. But I think they will slowly come around, and I think that despite their flaws, Sony is showing that there is a market still for a true gaming experience and not necessarily just a marketing experience. So I appreciate that.
Well, there you go.
There we go.
I think we
Those
have
are
our accolades.
Yeah,
It's a very solid list of accolades we have here.
I
So,
agree.
Very good.
And again, just to reiterate, our honorable mentions, so we don't have to deal with them again, are I'm throwing Thronebreaker: The Witcher Tale in the mix as my honorable mention. Fantastic role-playing game. Emin is throwing Into the Breach, which was well earlier this year. It's made by the same guys who did FTL,
Mhm.
Faster Than Light, which is a fantastic game as well.
It's a very good strategy game.
Very
Very
good
good
strategy
turn-based strategy, roguelike sort of thing. It's wonderful.
Yeah. And we've got Northgard, which is an innovative real-time strategy game that Aureg is throwing into the ring here as his honorable mention. Do you want to say one little thing about Northgard here?
Yeah, I played a little bit the other day. It was fun.
I saw you playing it, yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
All right.
Cool.
Very good. Okay, boys.
Okay. Are you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have an idea about how to approach this.
Do you want to delete
I was
the
thinking
stuff
about
on the
this.
bottom?
I'm not going to delete it.
The stuff on the bottom.
Yeah,
like
no.
Under the accolades.
what do I
It's
have
a
under there?
repeat.
I have all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just get
Yeah, let me get rid of that. So
Just
then
to
we can have it all
clean it
on
up.
one nice cozy page.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
Hold on, let me
guys.
get to...
Guys and gals.
Okay. So this, I was thinking about this earlier today, kind of best way to tackle this. And let me know what you guys think.
Sure.
I say we divide this list into 3 parts. Top of the list, middle of the list, bottom of the list.
Okay.
Top list is 1, 2, 3. Middle of the list is 4 through 7.
Yes.
Bottom of the list, 8, 9,
9,
10.
10.
Okay.
And
So-
then we go one by one and say where each of us think
Totally.
a game goes. If all 3 of us agree on something, then we stick it there.
100%.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, let's start with the bottom half.
I'd
Yes.
actually like to say something that I've been thinking about
Yeah,
too with
go
the
for it.
list. So this list is an interesting thing because we talked about it last week, and it's a conglomeration of all our tastes in games, both in cooperation with one another and in competition. And the competition comes in the form of the 3 games that the 2 other people haven't really played too much or at all that we're all putting forward, right? So each of us has a game. You have Hitman 2, you have Subnautica, and I have Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire, okay? Now, I was thinking about these 3 games in the scheme of the list, And because it's games that are going to be difficult to place because it's just one person advocating, I think naturally their position is on the bottom half of the list always for all three of these games. Because and not to say that these games deserve to be there on some metric of if they're fun or not. I'm sure I'd love Hitman 2 and I want to put it there, right? But to be fair to Deadfire and Subnautica, Hitman 2 cannot be up there because we haven't played it and you haven't played our games, right? So
I don't know if I
is
necessarily agree with that, man.
That's fine.
Because
I wanna-
like just putting, putting the three games that we're vouching for most at the bottom, and then putting a whole bunch of games that we don't necessarily like as much as
not
those
at the
above.
bottom, but like
That's what I'm thinking. Like I don't see either of those, like our three games, being in the top. I don't think that's realistic.
Yeah.
I think it's more realistic to say that they're going to be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. Totally.
Like not at the bottom.
No, not at the bottom necessarily, but not in the top. I can't imagine any of them, let's say, in the top 5. That's like how I'm thinking about it. Like I can't, because it's unfair to the other entries of it, because we all feel so strongly about ours, right?
I think it just kind of depends on the game and kind of depends on everything, because last year we gave 4th place to not Pillars, the other one, the one that you were backing,
Divinity.
that only you had played.
Yeah. Well, he played it.
I
We
didn't play
both
I
played
was
it.
arguing
We
for
both
it.
played it, and Sean had played it and stuff. But not that Sean's part of the next level. But in general, we were taking.
Let's just get through it and see what
that
happens.
was just my. That's
Yeah.
just what I was thinking about. That was just like my meta commentary on the thing. We could still do whatever you were saying, but that's just how I thought the fairness of those 3 entries could work.
I say we just tackle it. We just go at it and then kind of see where everything happens.
Sure, yeah.
Let's just see, and
Yeah.
then we can reassess.
Sure.
So I don't know. I guess let's just start. I'm gonna start with Dragon Ball Fighter Z, and I say like all of us kind of give an idea where we expect it to be.
You're gonna say a game. Oh, are we not tackling number 8, 9, and 10 first?
Oh yeah. Oh, well,
Should we do it by slots, okay?
I was thinking like we just do.
Oh, I see.
We go by game, and then
Okay.
we just say
Okay.
we can still have like 5 games in the top of the list,
Sure.
and then we have to figure it out.
Well, I say
You
Dragon
know?
Ball Fighter Z deserves to be like in the top 3. So it's either 2 or 3.
I would say
wouldn't say it's
either.
1.
I would say it's either top or middle. That's where I see Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
I would certainly say the middle.
Okay.
This game is not a top 3 contender this year at all, from my perspective.
Okay.
So for now, let's put it in the
on
middle.
4?
Yeah,
I would
I'm gonna
even
put it
say
in the
high
middle.
middle is fine, but
Put it
like
on high middle.
certainly a top 3 is kind of
Sure. Number
So
4
I'm gonna-
is good.
So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do high, mid, low.
And let me even because we can basically discuss these games at some length, right?
Mhm.
That's
Yes.
what we're doing here. So the reason I don't see it in the top 3, and I'll tell you, and it's one of the primary reasons I don't see it in the top 3, but not the only, is because it simply didn't have the sticking value. And I don't think a game that doesn't have a sticking value deserves a top 3 spot. I just don't. I don't think a game that we played for, not even all of us, but just we in general, played for less than a month, maybe, and even with content pouring out for that game.
I think it just matters like how much enjoyment you got out of it. It doesn't necessarily has to stick for a long time. Like
Right.
you're not meant to play a game forever. You're meant to play a game for as long as it gives you what it's supposed to give you, and then it's done.
However, I think that a game like DB Fighter Z should lend itself to more sticking value, and it fell short of that. Yes, I agree with you for the most part for many other games.
I mean, it kind
but a
of comes to
multiplayer
like.
genre should stick.
I mean, realistically, like none of us are too big into fighting games
Right. So
So-
why would it get a top 3?
It
because
did
it's just a package of it.
but it
man.
did stick.
Like
It's stuck for however long that it's stuck for. Like it's
Like,
stuck because it went past the threshold of us like picking it up and stopped playing it in a matter of like 2 weeks. We went on to play it for the decent amount of time in which you could say that it's stuck, and then we stopped playing it. So you can't say every game that we've played and had a lot of fun with didn't stick because we're not playing it today.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying it's the type of game that either should stick, or if you're saying,
Well, if it is a genre that we play, that's the thing about saying like we're not into fighting games. So like if fighting games was a genre that we always return to, and no matter what in our like
Yeah.
gaming lives, we always have like a fighting game that we always go to, it would be Dragon Ball Fighter Z. We just
Yeah.
don't play the fighting genre much.
And does this list not try to reflect exactly that? It should try to reflect exactly what our genre tastes are and what we're going for, instead of this hypothetical, well, it is the best package that we would have loved to play more, but we didn't.
it's not
That's the way
necessarily
I
like
look-
that, man. Like I got the full amount of enjoyment that I was gonna get out of that game. Like
yeah.
I could go back to it.
I'm
I
not
just need,
saying
I
it's
need,
a-
I
I'm not
just
saying
need
it's a
someone to
bad
play
game.
with.
I
I
hope
just
that's
need
not-
someone to play with. Like if I don't, I mean, like you said, it's a multiplayer
But
game.
you could play online.
I
and you
don't-
could-
No, I can't because it's extremely competitive online, and I can't like verse people online like rank like that.
Yeah.
I have to play with friends.
And again, I'm not even
just
saying
like Super Smash. Like Super
Yeah,
Smash, it has a campaign mode and single player and stuff, but that's not really why you play the game.
Yeah.
We play with our friends, and that's why we play it. If I don't have any friends to play these types of games with, then I'm not gonna be playing it. You know, but
Yeah.
if like my head, like I mentioned this the other day, if my head messaged me on Steam and said like, "Yo, let's go for some rounds of Dragon Ball Fighter Z," I would love to. Most likely, if like I'm not
You're
busy,
right.
I would do it.
You're like what you guys are saying makes total
So
sense.
it's stuck on that level.
It makes total sense. I'm not even disagreeing with that. But I'm saying that even with that argument, just the way I'm hearing it, it makes me think, okay, all that is correct, and that is why it shouldn't be top 3. That is why it deserves another spot on our
I'm cool
on
with it
our
being
on our
4.
selective top
Yeah.
10.
I'm cool with it being 4. I'm
You know
not,
what I mean?
I'm gonna put it in mid for now, and
Yeah.
then it could go up and down.
Sure.
It's
So
mid lane?
I'm just
Mid
putting
lane.
mid lane. Yeah. Oh, that's funny, man. We should call it left, mid, right.
Uh,
Okay. So
yeah, safe
as-
lane, mid lane, off lane, dude.
Cool. So we have next up we have Super Smash Ultimate.
okay, mid for sure.
I feel like I've been talking a lot, so you guys make your case.
I would say Super Smash would be in high for me.
Oh,
I
really?
think
Wow.
yeah, I think it's a very strong game.
Okay.
I would put that above Dragon Ball.
Oh
I
my
think-
goodness.
Yeah, I think there's a
Okay.
lot more there.
Ooh.
Um,
All right.
I certainly think that it's one of the best games that I've ever played. So
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Mhm.
It's just
Damn.
it's very
not-
well
I'm
put
not-
together.
Okay.
Like
I'm not even thinking of just the fighting, the one-on-ones. I'm thinking of the chaos that happens in the 4-player. I'm thinking of the really good and fleshed out single-player mode.
oh yeah,
I'm
the
thinking
World
of
of Light.
I'm thinking of the beautiful
so much
graphics.
variety
I'm
and-
thinking
yeah.
of the songs. I'm thinking of how they crammed everything in and they keep wanting to put out more. It's literally ultimate. In fact, I would have even argued for it to be best package if we didn't have Dead Cells as like the really good lock. So for me, yeah, I would put it either in top or number 4. That's where I would see it.
Okay, so for now, what do you guys say? Should I put it in mid or high?
Well, I voted mid, but y'all were voting high, so it's like 2 versus 1. So we usually go with a compromise there. I don't know.
Yeah.
So put it on like top.
Put it between 3 and 4. Put it between 3 and 4.
it's
we're not
high.
numbering it
It's
yet.
high.
We're not numbering it yet.
No, I know. I mean, like on the thing. Oh,
No, see,
I
that-
thought you
that's
took
what
the
we're
num-
doing right now, yeah.
Oh. Man, that's rough.
If you put it in high, then there's only 2 other games. You
No,
can
no,
put
but
in
but like
high.
we can have like 4 or 5 games in high. You
Oh,
know,
you
like
could.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
it comes to it, and then we figure it
Okay.
out what we're
Then
doing.
just put it in high, like for now. What's the big deal?
Also, just reiterating, for the viewers, you can go into the YouTube description, and there's a Google Doc there, and that's the Google Doc that we're working from. So come check it out. So yeah, Super Smash Ultimate, putting it in high. Cool. Next up, we've got Pillars of Eternity to
I say-
Deadfire.
I
So-
say either mid or low.
If you're
Yeah.
cool with
I'm with
low,
that.
then go for low.
Yeah, I'm fine with low. I think it's a fantastic game. One of the standout RPGs, one of my favorite RPGs. I'll just say a little bit about it, just so people have context. It's a sequel to a game that's, I think, about 2 years old now, or maybe even 3. I don't know. And it's basically you take your same character, or you just generate a new one, and you go on the high seas for an adventure. One of the gods has awakened, and he's a giant titan, and he's storming the seas as a physical embodiment, and you're following his trail, trying to solve why he's in the world and what he's doing. And a lot of the times, the gods intervene in cutscenes and tell you things that they want out of you, and you can tell them off. And you play with a lot of factions on the high seas, different, like the consulate, and like this race has like a government that you're dealing with, and all this stuff. It's very fun. The really fun part, though, is the customization. There are classes that you pick like any RPG, but you can combine them to create dual classes and subclasses, which, I mean, there are so many, and just a versatility of builds and fun that it was quite a joy. The music is great. The writing is great. Everything about it is an improvement upon the first. I don't think it is one of the greatest games ever. It is one of my favorite games, but on a top 10 list that reflects our virtues, I think it is low on the scale. But I will say, just to end that off, it is one of the best RPGs of this year, stand out. And if you guys like RPGs, I would recommend you play it. You don't need to play the first one.
Cool.
Just play it. Yeah.
Awesome. So I set it over to low for now,
Yeah.
and then
Low
but
is
that
totally.
can move around.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Artifact. What do you guys think?
Mid to low.
Mid.
Really? I would say high. And kind of like the way that I would describe it is a game that all three of us like, and there are very, very few of those on this list that all three of us are kind of, on equal-minded for that.
I guess so.
That's kind of why, like, if we're doing something that reflects all of our tastes, like, even though Artifact is going to be above a whole bunch of games that we might personally like more than Artifact, like, I just think it makes sense.
Yeah, like
because it just reflects us.
Okay, put it in high.
It can move down.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Because like
fine,
there's going to be other games coming to high.
Yeah.
I think for now, like, yeah.
Sure. I agree with that reasoning. It's very good reasoning. We are all on
We're all
a
like-minded.
very similar
Yeah.
page for Artifacts, so the list can reflect that.
Audic says, "Why is the chat disabled?" And what's up, everyone?
Well, we're trying to not have outside interruptions.
Yeah, we
No
Arik.
outside influence.
Arik!
Hey, man, where's your invite? Give me your invitational envelope.
The chat is disabled only for our deliberation episodes because it's like kind of an insular thing
Exactly.
that we're allowing the viewers to like peep, in
Yeah.
a way.
Inside look at how we come up with our top 10.
Yeah. And we did
Um,
this last year as well, so you
yeah.
can take a listen.
After we finish this, after we lock our top 10, I could just open up the chat. And
You
then
could,
open
yeah.
up the floodgates.
That would be
and
fun.
That'd be
Yeah,
fun.
Sure,
yeah.
stick around.
Cool. And then, so after Artifact, we have Slay the Spire.
Sure.
This is a mid to low to me because I have very little experience with it. So
I would like
can't-
to. I would like to see it in mid, but I can see
Me
it
too.
also going to low.
I would
So-
like to see it in mid as well.
So for now, I think I'm just gonna stick it in mid.
Yeah, sure. I like this system because then we'll
Yeah.
get into the nitty gritty of like how to number.
Do you
them.
want to talk about Slay the Spire a little bit before we move on, Arig?
Yeah, it's a amazing card game. For one, it doesn't steal your money. It doesn't make you buy a bunch of cards.
Very
And
self-contained.
and it's a really fun card game.
It's like a campaign, right? A single player, like
No, it's a roguelike.
but it's like single player. It's like
It's single player. It's single player roguelike. Yeah, you choose one of three characters, and each character has like specific cards that you can only have in that character.
baller.
And you just go through a dungeon, and the further you go, the more cards you unlock, the more trinkets and stuff you get.
It's almost Binding of Isaac-esque in that sense of
But
like
it's a card game.
you're going from
Yeah.
room to room,
Exactly.
and you have different encounters
Yeah,
in
yeah.
each room. You build your deck. It's a deck builder.
Yeah. It's
so
very
you-
smartly done too, because like you can see the opponents attacking you before they do, so you know what they're doing. So it's like it's a lot more reactionary.
In fact, there's
you
an
know?
artifact item that makes you stop being able to see what the enemies are doing in trade for like something positive. Like it has
Oh,
a positive effect, but then you cannot see what the enemy's going to do. Like, is it going to attack you? Is it going to cast a buff?
That's cool.
So you don't know like how to move against it or to counter it.
Very nice.
It's a very fun, innovative card game. Highly recommend it.
All right.
Yeah. So
put
we
it
have that in mid for now. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Next up, we have Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man.
I say mid.
Low.
I think it's a
I would say
square.
low.
You would
I would
say
say
low?
low over here
Alright,
because like
that's fine.
it's a game that I actively think is not that great. Like to me, dude, like
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is very much in the same vein
Horizon.
that Horizon was
It
last
is
year.
the exact
like
same
it's
game.
literally it's the same type of game.
And,
Like,
and let me
we're having the same arguments that we did last year.
Let me tell you, it's very funny because yesterday I read a comment on Reddit that was like, "This is the Horizon of this year
Totally.
because
Totally.
it's behind RDR and God of War."
Hmm.
If this game was released in a year that didn't have that, it would be on everybody's list high up.
What if it was released in the year that Horizon was released? What would happen? Would the universe explode?
It would be a better game than Horizon.
Spider-Man is better than Horizon?
I think so.
I don't know.
I think
about
so,
that.
too.
I played both to the
Oh,
degree
okay,
that
left.
it's. I mean, what do you think?
I don't know.
Oh,
I haven't given it that much thought.
I haven't either. I just
thought about it right now.
and I
Yeah.
think it's better.
Okay.
But yeah, low makes sense to me. I can see a mid, but at lowest, yeah, whatever.
Cool.
Makes no difference.
God of War low.
Yeah, I agree.
Just kidding.
I can't even troll, dude. That game definitely high.
Yeah.
And I'd like to talk about it later.
Yeah.
I don't want to
We'll
talk
talk
about it
about
right
it.
now.
Why? I'm going to talk about it right now.
No. There's a lot that
No,
needs
nothing.
to be said.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
an interesting game. I thought it was very linear at first, which I was okay with because of how cool it was anyway. But then it opened up and it blew my mind. And I was like, oh my God, it's not as linear as I thought. And what are they doing with God of War? And this
Yeah.
is so awesome and fun. And
They strike
the
a very good
combat-
balance with the challenge and the
Yeah.
combat and everything.
The combat is like just a treat to run through and watch. And just even anybody else playing and watching was amazing. Our episode on it is great.
Yep.
A whole lot of fun.
Early in the year.
Yeah.
The progression on your character is a whole lot of like solid mechanics, talent tree, discovering new weapons, and your entire like shtick changes with your character. Like that was a big thing.
Yeah.
So it definitely deserves to be on the high
Yeah,
list
totally.
for sure.
Yeah, high.
We had a really we played it on stream like very early on, and we had like a couple of really fun moments in that stream too, like when we
I
stumbling
think-
upon that dragon. And
Yeah, the dragon stuff was
Yeah.
very cool.
Very cool.
I'm gonna save my commentary when we number it.
Okay, that's God of War, and then next up we have Hitman 2, which is something
Oh.
that I would like to see in mid.
I would say mid to low. I'm okay with mid.
Dude, you know what? Honestly, the way I feel about Hitman changed because I watched you play a little bit
Okay.
before the stream.
What do you think?
I think that it definitely has like a lot of potential.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's pretty fun.
Hitman. Yeah, dude, Hitman is fantastic, and like the way that they built upon the first game is actually really smartly done. Like they added a whole bunch of stuff to the first game, like different types of cover. Like they tweaked the AI in a way that if you play a lot of the first one and you play the second one, like everything, it just feels better. It's just like snappier. It's just
Cool.
you know.
If you like Hitman, you know you'd like this other game too called
Sticks.
Master of Shadows.
Master of Shadows.
Oh fuck yeah, man! Yeah,
Have you ever played
yeah,
that?
I have. Yeah.
Okay, I love that game.
No,
It's
that's a great game.
played similarly.
Yeah, play similarly, but it's different because like in that, like it's a lot more of a sneaking mission.
Yeah,
Like you're like
there's,
sneaking
like,
around.
It's more
hardcore-
Splinter
Hit-
Cell-y maybe.
In
Yeah.
Hitman is so much up my alley because like last
Yeah.
Monday I was mentioning it's like hiding in plain sight, and I fucking love that feeling.
Yeah.
Right.
That-
And also a huge comedy, and I know you love like
dude,
the
like the way that the comedy in that game is like it's second to none. Like the way that it's funny. It's like the level of buffoonery that you get to
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that game is very funny.
Let me tell you, I definitely see it in mid. I definitely see it in mid. I can see it in low, but I know it's not going to be there, and I truly think mid is a great spot for it.
Yeah,
Hitman 2 is a really cool game.
sweet. Moving on, we have Red Dead.
Can I actually dial back just a second? I just want to ask a question about Hitman 2.
Sure.
Do you know the roadmap for it, like going forward, like what they're
Yeah,
gonna,
so
can
there's
you
going to
talk about that
be
briefly?
2 expansions. I think each expansion is like $15, and each expansion is going to have one map, and it's going to have one. It's going to have like one other thing. I forget off the top of my head. But if you guys have played Hitman, like those maps are very
Huge, yeah,
large. And if the first game is any indication, like how they approached the first game when it came like after launch, there's a whole bunch of like free updates that come too. And what these free updates are, they take an existing map and they modify it in a way. So for example, going back to the first game, there's a map called Sapienza, which is like some Italian village. And in the free update, they basically took that same city, but they made it as like, oh, like some Hollywood director has moved in here and is making a movie. So now suddenly, like they've blocked off certain parts of the map, they've opened up different parts of the map, and then
It
now
feels like
it's
a different map.
Now it's a different map. So like they're probably gonna continue doing that if the first game was any indication. But there's gonna be like 2 full expansions coming
Cool.
afterwards.
All right. I was just curious.
That
Yeah.
mechanic has been used in racing games before, like in a city when you start a race, like it's an open world city when
Mhm.
you're driving your car, and then if you like start an event or a race, certain parts of like
Exactly.
certain streets are
Yeah.
become blocked off. So
Mhm.
there's like an actual loop now that develops.
Yeah.
That you have to drive
That's
through.
cool. Yeah. All right. Cool. I was just curious.
Yep.
Okay. Nice.
If like Hitman 1 is any indication, they do a lot of support after the game.
Awesome.
Like, yeah, they do a good job with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and like just one more thing before we move on, like it survived because Hitman 2 was about to not happen because Square has unrealistic expectations when it comes to how games perform, and it just decided that Hitman 1 didn't do well, so they sold the company. So they just like literally like canned the company, and the company was just able to come up afloat and put out Hitman 2. So it's
Wow.
like it's
Nice
like
little
one
tale.
it's like 1 year late, but it's here.
Awesome,
So-
man.
So
Cool.
it's a cool little story behind it.
Very
That's
nice.
intense.
Next up we have Red Dead Redemption 2.
Dude, this one breaks my heart.
This is a big one.
This one breaks my heart in a lot of ways because I know if I gave it more time, I would want to see it high, but I can't, in my mind, put it high. I see it as maybe a high mid.
I do not see it in high.
Okay, put him in.
I totally see it in mid.
And
I
you
feel like
played
it has.
I think the most.
I
right?
played the most of it. Yeah, like I'm pretty close to finishing it, and
Wow.
I like the game. It's like the moments of it, man. Like when you're in the mood and when like it hits just right, like you get absolutely immersed, and just the game is something else. Like it just transcends. But
Sounds like Dota.
yeah,
in a way, yeah.
but it has like way too many problems, kind of like just holding you back. And
Can I just say, so you know how we drew the parallel with Spider-Man and Horizon Zero Dawn?
Mhm.
I see Red Dead Redemption 2 as this year's Zelda Breath of the Wild. It would have been the top game,
yeah, totally.
but there was just so much game that naturally, by virtue of that fact, it was clunked down.
Yep.
Versus the other game, which I'm not going to mention, making a parallel to Super Mario Odyssey. So it's like a different kind of thing maybe, but I definitely see it on mid. at the very least.
I'm with you, man.
Which is a shame, dude.
It is a shame,
it's
man.
It's a weird shame because,
I feel like I argued this like from
The
the first
beginning,
time we did
yeah.
the episode. Yeah.
Are you cool with mid?
Yeah.
For Red Dead?
Can I also say, like, we're not even thinking about Red Dead Online, which is a shit show. In fact, if we wanted to talk about a big blunder, not the biggest, but a blunder, the Red Dead Online is absolute garbage, money, cash grab. Like,
Is it?
Yeah, Rockstar being completely the most predatory, I think, in the industry right now.
I remember Avo was saying, "Oh, I can't wait to play like
I couldn't wait,
Red Dead with
and
you
I was
guys
really
online."
excited to get it until that online came out. Even Shahan was like, "Dude, I don't want to get the online."
So what is Avo saying about it?
Nothing.
Is he
Radio
playing?
science, but he's got a girl now. He's not talking about Red Dead Redemption.
Doesn't care about Red Dead
he's-
anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
That's cool. Congratulations.
Yeah.
But yeah, also like Red Dead Online, it's $30. It's additional. Like you have to buy it.
Like LOL.
Like
Mhm.
LOL.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So mid.
Yeah.
Let's say mid.
I think like all these things are kind of dragging Red Dead down to
Yeah.
what it could have been
Sure.
because
Mhm.
it is something special. It's a cool thing. Next up and last up, actually, we have Subnautica.
Subnautica, I am arguing for this game. Both of you have seen it. We've gone such a long way with this game. I've played it. I played through it like multiple times, man.
Hike also loved that he mentioned it when we were eating sushi.
Yeah, he really liked it. Oh, did he mention it?
Well, we were talking about the top
Oh, that's
10.
okay. Yeah, I mean, I've played through this game multiple times. There aren't that many games in my lifetime that I've like played through from beginning to finish multiple times. You know, Dark Souls, is one of those games.
Yeah.
It just does something that other games don't do. It really like scratches a big itch of mine, which is open world games, which is collecting resources, which is building bases, which is exploration and just the mystery and the discovery of like different biomes and like all these little really cool mechanics that a lot of other games have, but they don't come together that well. And it delivers something totally new, which is like ocean biome. Like what other game does like an ocean biome
Yeah, like underwater
that
gameplay
well?
too much. Yeah.
There aren't really that many games out there that do this.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but there's no like outright violence. Like you can't shoot things. You can't.
Yeah,
like,
no, not really. I mean, do you have a
get,
knife?
like a harpoon gun and stuff?
Stuff like the newer updates.
It's not
have,
really like a
have few
shooting
things.
game.
Yeah, but it's not like you go out there and you kill things. It's not like, oh, if I'm just really good at using my weapon, then the game is no threat to me anymore. Like there's no such element.
Gotcha.
It really keeps the whole exploration aspects. Like it's more about just the
Yeah.
exploring, the collecting.
It's like exploring and survival.
Mhm,
And
there's a
there's
story. There's like
Oh, cool.
there's like different hidden things
I heard
happening.
the story is really good.
The story
actually.
is very interesting and very cool. You have to explore in order to keep finding about the story. So you go to like different biomes, you find different things that lead you to different places
Oh, cool.
in the world. And
It's like
you-
audio logs and stuff, or
audio logs are a part
Okay.
of it. You encounter different locations, and you need to progress through the game to get to certain locations, like certain depth levels. Like you cannot go with your basic submarine little ship down
Yeah,
to
that makes
certain,
total sense.
to certain
yeah.
depths. So you need to like
Because the
upgrade
pressure's
it.
gonna crush
Mhm.
it.
You need
yeah.
to find like
That's
new
a pretty
things to
cozy
craft.
game too.
Yeah,
It's
the
a pretty
progression is done really well. The things you discover and run into are really well. All the creatures are so interesting, and some of them are creepy. And the sound effects, man.
Mhm.
Sometimes like you're just in the darkness of the ocean depths, and you hear a sound.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
What
yeah.
the fuck was
And
that?
you're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
I don't know what's up, what's down, how far away I am from my base right now. Like, what's going on? You know.
So all of this to say you want it low? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, indeed. No, honestly, I would definitely value Subnautica up there. I wouldn't completely have disagreed with your idea of putting like all the three games that we're arguing at the bottom, but I also like the way that saying we could just put it where we think it fits.
Yeah,
You know?
I
So-
see
so
it
like,
mid.
Yeah.
I
So
see it, man.
so
I could see it mid also, man.
I'll go with mid. Obviously, it's not going to be like top 2 or 3. So if it's going to be 4 or beyond, then it's going to be in mid for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna
I-
put it in mid for now.
And that's it, right? Well, we have actually a funny bell
Okay.
curve here.
Yeah.
We have a straight bell curve.
So right now we have 3 on high, which is how it's supposed to be. But again, like all this can change. We
Yeah.
have 5 in mid, so 1's kind of knocked down, and we have 2 in low.
Sure.
So I
and
think.
even that can change. Something
Oh,
can
yeah,
move
yeah,
up
yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever. Like
So I
depending
think
on-
right now we take a look at mid, and
Bump
we
it
figure out
down.
if we want to bump one up or
Okay.
bump one down.
So we're either going to bump down Slay the Spire or Dragon Ball Fighter Z. I think.
Oh, bump down? No,
Yeah.
I think Dragon Ball Fighter Z is in a good spot.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think like
this is a-
I can see Fighter Z going up, but I don't see it knocking down either Smash, Artifact, or God of War.
Okay, then.
So I think Dragon Ball FighterZ is in a good spot.
Okay, so then I say
Well, but this isn't this isn't the order.
This is not the
No.
order.
This is
not
No,
the
no,
order
no,
for
no.
we're
everyone.
either gonna bump down Slay the Spire or Red Dead Redemption 2.
I certainly think Slay the Spire is bumped down by virtue of it
I-
being the most niche title. But again,
I would knock down Red Dead, believe it or not.
Me too.
because
that's
it's-
pretty crazy, dude.
Because, like, you know what,
This
man?
is
Like,
a controversial.
Sure.
in the same way that I was saying for Artifact, like, all three of us are on the same page. All three of us are also on the same page for Red Dead. Like, it is technically a great game, but the game itself is not necessarily
But-
there.
Okay, but I have to
I agree.
compare it to Slay the Spire because if this is the argument between the two, then we have to run the comparison, right? So yeah, Red Dead is.
Well, I mean, to me, it would be Subnautica, not Slay the Spire, to go down.
oh, interesting.
I'm like,
I was really,
I
I
like
was really
Slay the Spire
pulled
quite a bit.
by his impassioned speech with Subnautica.
okay.
Yeah, I liked his rhetoric with it, so that's why I would actually keep it mid. Versus
For
Slay
sure.
the Spire, it seems like a really cool, but at the end of the day, it's a card. It's just a card game. The
I mean,
same way.
Subnautica is just a, like
But it's
survival
a
game,
lot.
and Red Dead Redemption 2 is just an open world game. Like, you can't you can't really say that. You know,
Can't I?
It
Because
does-
there's a
it
lot
does
more
because
going
like
on
Slay
in
the
those games.
Spire, no, because like it's
does
like
what it
the,
does
the
well.
innovation, the innovation that comes from Slay the Spire is really good.
Well, you're bumping down a
It's
whole
like-
genre. You're just saying all card games then are.
No, I mean
inferior.
Artifact is on our high, but I'm saying
Okay,
if we're
so
but
it
if
does
we're
it really well.
comparing between like games that are so dense and have so much into it, like
Slay
the
the
high,
Spire is pretty dense.
is it more dense than Subnautica? Is it more dense
in a different
than,
way.
Is it more
It's
dense than
different.
RDR?
It's dense.
It can't be because we
compa-
gave
rel-
RDR
I
the
don't
most
think-
detailed.
yeah.
It's dense relative to its card game.
I don't think density.
genre.
I don't think density should be the point whether we move something up or down, man. Like I think we
Oh.
just have to look at the entire game together, like as one, like as an entity, not like one specific part, and say it's like, oh well, because
I
of this
agree.
has to go up and down. I
but
really
as an
think
entity,
I'm-
I would even say that goes for RDR being.
I had
like-
I had a lot better time playing Slay the Spire than I did with RDR.
Wow,
I would
that's
go
pretty
back.
Crazy.
I would go back to play Slay the Spire happily. I dread
It is
going
a
back to
chore
play
going
RDR.
back to
yeah,
Red Dead
well, it is a
Redemption.
chore. Yeah.
It's a chore. Like I don't have good feelings connected to it. I don't know if I will not finish the game.
Let me ask
It's like
you.
I was
something.
never,
will
I
not
was
finish
never,
the
I
game.
was never excited to play Red Dead Redemption. Like I was never sitting at work saying, "So I can't wait to go home to play Red Dead
But
Redemption."
with Slay the
But
Spire,
like
that
I would
was the
always
case.
come home and be like, "Okay, I need to play this. Like I have to get through this
Very
just because out of an
interesting.
obligation, not because I wanted to."
I would
Well-
get away from Red Dead to play Slay the Spire to relax my fucking nerves because it's too fucking slow in Red Dead.
Okay. Well, I have one question about Red Dead because you played it the most.
Yes.
The story regarding just the narrative that it's telling. Forget all the clunkiness, forget everything like that. Regarding the narrative, would you say that it's a stellar narrative and does it exceed like some like golden standard, or does that as well fall short of something?
I think
'Cause I'm
there
genuinely
are-
curious, like because the narrative might be enough to carry it, man. Like
I
it
think
might
there
be just
are
a strong.
there are certain strands of the narrative that are top notch. There's
Like when you say
certain,
top notch, though, what do you mean? Like, is
I
it
mean-
like truly like cinematic Hollywood? Like this should be
It,
fucking
like-
like the writing is monumentally good, or like does it?
Can I give specifics? Like, should I talk
Bro,
spoilers?
yeah, I don't care. I
Like,
don't care personally, but
Sure, I don't care, dude. I'm not gonna
no.
finish
Well,
the game.
well,
I
viewers.
mean, yeah, for viewers and everything, but like,
Don't be
I could be as
specific.
I could be as vague as I can be. Like, I won't give away story moments, but I'm going to say things for people that kind of know what I'm talking about. There's this one particular part in chapter 4 that is about a child gets stolen, gets kidnapped, and you're trying to go get him back, and kind of the progression on how it starts at the end of chapter 3 and kind of builds up to the end of chapter 4. That strand is perfect.
Does that carry that chapter?
But,
Is that the
like,
main strand of that chapter, or no?
Oh well, yeah. I guess it is, but like, let me keep going. So like, that's like one strand that they do really well. At a certain point, your character contracts a disease, and then that's something that you have to deal with. And that strand is really well done. You know, like there's these strands, like very particular moments that I feel like they do a really good job with. But I think the narrative as a whole is very scattered, because like that's like 10% of the game right there. That's 10% of the story. Like majority of the time you're traveling between locations. Majority of the time you're doing kind of quests for like goofy characters, and you know, like a lot of the other characters, you meet a lot of characters throughout the game, and
I'm sure
some
many of them
characters
are
are
cool,
very-
and many of them.
yeah, some characters are great. Some characters are like generic rockstar people that you expect, you know, like very like crazy over the top. And
Yeah, I see
you know,
that.
whenever you're dealing with like your character's like life altering moment, and then suddenly like you're taken out of that to do like some goofy thing. It doesn't
so
feel right.
suffers the Rockstar problem.
Yeah.
Of the dissonance.
Exactly. Like
of the narrative and the gameplay.
that's why I would say like the narrative doesn't carry it because
That's fine.
Like,
Yeah, that's fair.
because like that's kind of the one of the reasons that was pushing me away from it.
Okay.
That was one of my main things for seeing it high, is that. But if you are arguing as the person who's played it the most, if you're saying that even that may not be enough, I can see from that argument alone that maybe it is
on my personal list. It's middle of my list.
It's 3 on mine,
Okay.
and only because I think it deserves to be there of some objective standard, not my standard. You know what I mean? But I see the argument.
But that's the game I would knock down over Dragon Ball, Slay the Spire, Hitman, and Subnautica. That would.
What do you
That's
think,
my
Alex?
case.
Sure. I mean, well, I would much rather. So if the problem is if we don't knock down RDR, I don't want to knock down Subnautica. So I'd rather knock down, or if it's between Subnautica and RDR, I would rather knock down RDR.
But
That's
do you
my
agree
answer.
with what? Like, do you see why? And like, do you have like?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
I
did
mean,
you
there
see
was
what I
not
was
the
saying?
game was not captivating.
Mm.
There was too much slog. There was too many moments in the game that slowed it down so much for me that it made the whole thing not worth it anymore. I did not want to keep sacrificing having to go through this so that I could see like the cool part that might be coming up or not.
Yeah,
you know what I
see
mean?
that. Yeah. It's
So
like too much carrot on a stick.
It was
like,
not a
you know.
continuous, smooth, efficient experience. It was very like choppy. I had problems with the game from the very first fucking moment I laid my eyes on it. You know what I mean?
Can I give it my own, not for our list, but my
Sure.
own personal accolade? Is
Yeah.
I wish I loved it. It's a game I wish I not played. No, I wish I loved it because
Red Dead Redemption 1 was one of my favorite games of all time. I feel like
One of
it's
my
one of
favorite
the best games ever made.
one of the
I
best
really
games
do.
ever made. Period. I loved it from like beginning to end. Even if it suffered from the same kind of Rockstar problems, the story that it told of like the death of the Wild West, truly stellar. And I feel like even the premise of RDR2 being a prequel harms the integrity of RDR1. Because how do you deal with the same theme of the death of the Wild West when the sequel has already seen the sunset?
Yeah.
I think the premise was flawed from the beginning. But again, I didn't play enough of it. That's why I'm relying on your guys' testimony here. And I would agree.
Yeah.
I can see it going down over Subnautica. And the thing is with Slay the Spire, like, although I disagree with Slay the Spire being where it is, I see why you guys really feel strongly, and you guys feel so strongly about it. I have no choice, really, in my mind, to concede. And happily, not unhappily. Like, that's all. It makes me want to play it. Like,
Yeah.
it seems like
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
fucking cool game.
Yeah,
if
it
you
is.
guys really love it that
Yeah,
much.
it's
Yeah,
really cool.
it's really good.
Makes
It's,
me want
like,
to
very well done.
keep playing and get through it. And
Yeah, I'm gonna load it up like one of these nights again,
I
man.
do.
It's been
I
a while.
load
Like
it
I
up.
want to see what else.
It's in my
what else they've
cycle.
changed.
It's in my cycle.
Yeah,
Cool.
Play.
All right. Well, are
Um,
we bumping down RDR? Is
I
that
think
the
so.
choice?
Do it.
I think so
Let's do
too.
it.
And like just
That's low.
one last thing for RDR. It's like I'm gonna see it through. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna finish. I'm getting pretty close
Of
to
course,
finish
you're
it.
very
So
close, yeah.
I really hope they wrap it up well.
You know, dude, you might even come back next year and you might say like
Yeah.
the ending like redeems
redeemed it.
some of
Maybe.
it or something. You never know.
But I have not heard anything about anyone talking about the ending of
Dude,
RDR.
I haven't.
Like,
you know what's cool? I haven't heard any spoilers about it. I don't
Yeah,
know
me
anything
too.
about the story. So that's kind of
because I don't think anyone's really getting through it.
Nobody's getting through it.
Yeah, I
That's
really
funny.
don't think anyone's getting through it.
That's funny. Well,
It's too
it's
much.
low. Well, this is like probably
It's
the
like on
most
the lower
controversial
end.
decision that this list is capable of.
That's fine.
That's
Yeah.
what it is for us, man.
This
That's
is
what
what
it
the
is
next
for the next level,
list-
dude.
Yeah, we'll hate it or love it, or maybe just be neutral to it.
Okay, so
Okay.
this is what I say. I say we go through and read the list as is, and then
Sure.
we basically lock in whether those 3 games are going to be for high, those 3 games are
Sure.
going to be for low.
Sure.
Can we start with low?
Yes.
and move-
Sure.
Okay.
So for low, we have Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire, Marvel Spider-Man, and Red Dead.
I actually say that I think that the number 8 spot is where Pillars of Eternity 2 belongs because I truly believe it is one of the most standout role-playing games, as I've said before. It does a lot of things right, and although the sales of the game don't support it, the integrity and the love behind it just shines in my mind. And I loved it when I was playing it. I was obsessed with it. So you're talking about Slay the Spire, looking forward to it, dude. I would like be talking. Sean can even have testimony to this. I would be talking about it nonstop and look forward to every moment, like where I'd go back and be able to play it. Like it was truly an astoundingly fun experience, and it was exactly what I needed this year at the time that I played it. So I think the number 8 spot situates it perfectly for me.
So Pillars is 8.
Well,
Red Dead is
Before we start, so we're not locking in numbers right now.
Yeah.
Well, we're just like locking in and saying it's like if we're okay with these being in low, mid,
I'm
and
okay
high.
with these three.
So
being
I'm
low.
okay with that.
Oh,
with
I
the
thought
low
we were
list
locking
also.
in the numbers.
No,
right
not
now.
yet.
Oh.
Because like let's just lock in low, mid, high, and then we can.
Oh, sorry.
figure it out.
I thought we were.
Yeah.
I say low is locked in.
I think low looks good. I
Yeah.
think mid we have Dragon Ball Fighter Z, Slay the Spire, Hitman 2, Subnautica.
I think the
I'm
mid
very
is-
happy with this.
I think the mid,
Mid
I'm,
is
I'm
locked.
very happy with as well.
Yeah, which auto locks top.
Yeah, and then
Oh,
top we
lost.
have Smash, Artifact, God of War. That's a funny
That's
high
a,
list,
that's
man.
A funny,
that's a really funny
that's
list.
Super funny. I don't think anyone expected Artifact to be that high.
No,
I didn't.
I didn't expect it to be.
I
that high.
honestly would
But it
even,
makes sense, man.
It makes
sense.
sense, but, like,
Sure, it makes
shit,
sense.
man.
Sure, I could see it as number 3.
Yeah, I could see it as number 3.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Okay, so let's start numbering it, guys.
All
okay,
right.
from bottom,
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'll give Pillars 8. I'll give Red Dead 9, and I'll give Spider-Man 10.
That's what I'm 100% okay with that.
I agree 100%. I
Let's
think
do it.
Spider-Man being 10 is the best
Hit it.
option. Because I do think no matter what we were talking about with Red Dead Redemption 2, that game is truly the higher highs than Spider-Man.
there's
Oh,
so
yeah.
much. Yeah, there's so
Yeah,
much
yeah.
more
I
there.
agree.
Spider-Man is a cool experience. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I even want to say a little bit about it because we haven't talked about it too much, other than last week. But Spider-Man, for the PlayStation 4 right now, it's Marvel Spider-Man is a fantastic game. It's probably the definitive Spider-Man experience in a lot of ways, but it's a very light experience. It's not an experience that'll sit with you and like you have to digest it or anything like that. It's an experience that you play, you like. It's like a good
It's a fun
quick
romp.
meal of sushi and you move on with your life. You know, like there's not too much going on there.
It's not sushi, man. It's not that good.
It's poke.
Ha.
It's poke.
Poke is good too, man.
But it's
It's
light.
like fast
a
food
ramen.
sushi.
It's
It's
like
like
a
fast
ramen.
food
No,
sushi.
no,
ramen
it's
is
fast
like-
food sushi. Yeah,
It's fast food sushi.
it's buffet.
That's
sushi.
poke, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
Fine.
you're right. So
Okay.
for those looking at our list, we are starting to number it on our
Yes.
document. So again, if you guys haven't, or you're just tuning in, or you forgot, or you had a brain fart, we have our document live being edited in the description of our YouTube. So please check it out. We're doing it live while we're talking about it, and you can see how we're numbering it.
Let's do top first and then mid last.
No.
No.
Let's do
Fine.
mid. Let's do mid.
Fine.
So we're locking these in. 8, 9, and 10 are locked.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Mid, we have Dragon Ball Fighter Z. We have Slay the Spire, Hitman 2, and Subnautica. This is going to be an interesting one.
Can
It's
I
gonna
just
be
can I
difficult.
just throw a dart and say
Yes.
what I think? I
Okay.
think that Hitman 2 is number 5.
I would be very happy with that.
I
think.
and like it's
Okay.
simply a dart, so we have
Okay.
no frame of
Okay,
reference yet.
give 5 to Hitman 2.
Just visualize it, put it there.
Just give Hitman 5 to Hitman 2, and then I'd say I would see number 4 as either Dragon Ball Fighter Z or Subnautica.
I would see Dragon Ball.
I would see Dragon Ball, yeah.
Okay, then Dragon Ball Fighter Z will take 4. Hitman 2 will take 5.
Here's gonna be I think we're gonna argue about 6 and
Subnautica
7.
takes 6, and then Slay the Spire takes 7 for sure.
See, that's you're saying for sure. I know
see-
Emin disagrees.
I
I
see that.
know Emin
I,
disagrees.
I,
see
I
that
disagree.
100%.
Like I would definitely love to see Slay the Spire
I know.
a little bit higher, but
I have
you know,
love
like
for- I have
I
love for Slay the
understand.
Spire
I know,
too.
I know,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why like I'm not gonna fight it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like you're
Um,
supposed to convince me on Slay the
No,
Spire is
yeah,
good.
no, I know.
It's like I know it's good.
Yeah, but like you know, it's like Subnautica is the game that you're backing up.
You
That,
should have
like,
had-
That's the one that
That should be a game
you sacrificed Northgard for Subnautica.
I
so.
did. I did. That should be a game that you wish you played, honestly.
Oh yeah, Subnautica.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's my kind of thing, but
I think
I'll-
you could
I'll
get
give it a
into
shot.
'Cause
Yeah.
you like Astroneer, man.
I do like
For the
Astroneer.
fact that you liked Astroneer, same style of
Yeah,
game for
just in the
Subnautica.
sea.
Yeah. If it was co-op and we could just play like together, it would be
it's not co-op, is it?
no.
No. Okay.
But it would be like Astroneer levels of
Mm.
fun when we were playing Astroneer. It would be the same exact
Yeah.
level of exploration.
Talking about Astroneer, we need to check out Astroneer.
No, man, they changed it to.
I know
awful-
it's like a new game, dude. We gotta check it out.
Ugh.
Well, I think so. Number 4 being DB Fighter Z.
Yeah.
I think number 5.
I think we should we talk a little bit about Dragon Ball?
No.
We've talked quite a
We
bit
talked
about it.
so much about it.
Did
I
we talk
believe-
about this episode?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. About the best style.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah. Dragon Ball Fighter Z again. Anyone should look at it and play it. It's very fun. It's very cool.
It's very well
If
put
you're
together.
looking for a fighting
It's-
game,
It's a good starter fighting game too, because it does
Mm.
like a whole bunch of like
Good point.
it just like simplifies it. It simplifies it, but like the complexity is still there for people who want to get competitive with it. So it's a great fighting game. Hitman 2 for number 5. It is my number 2, my personal number 2. It is a wonderful game. We were just playing a little bit of it. We're gonna play it on stream very soon.
very funny game.
It's a very funny game.
very cool game. Awesome concept. Total revitalization of that series.
Oh yeah,
Because back at the day when we were in high school, it's a very different
Yeah.
series.
the very first Hitman 1 did really, really good, and then little by little they kind of lost their way, and then
Now it's back.
yeah, like 2 years ago when Hitman 1 came out, yeah,
Good.
it was a monumental moment.
I think it being right in the middle is actually pretty nice.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Subnautica for number 6.
It's just so funny, man, seeing Red Dead that low. It's just so funny to me. I know, but it, like
They should have done a better job.
just seeing the list in front of me and seeing the game I advocated for ahead of Red Dead 2, just it's like a weird thing in my head, dude. I know the first thing Sean's gonna say is like this list has no integrity because the Red Dead is like so low, blah blah blah. But
Right.
Oh, was he way into Red Dead? Did he
like
like
he
it?
liked it. The thing is though, he stopped. He's not even playing it.
Well, there you go.
He's not even playing it, and his whole mentality of it was like, I like playing it for a little at a time and then stopping and blah blah. But I'm like, dude, you know how many games we do that with, and then
And then you
know,
just
where
never
does
get
it
back
go?
to it.
Yeah.
Subnautica. And
Not that I'm
then
bashing
for
Sean.
number
Sean has
7,
very good opinions, like very actually well thought out opinions about Red Dead that he can talk about one of these days. But
yeah,
it's just funny seeing it low on the list. It's
Yeah.
just funny seeing it low on the list.
it just makes sense for us.
It makes sense for
There's
the
like
next
so many
level.
other games that kind of like just spoke to us in a lot bigger of a way.
Here's
and
the
then
top 3.
No, and then next up we have for number 7 we have Slay the Spire.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I mean we talked about it,
Right.
but it is
I
a
think this
fantastic
is-
card game.
I think this is the correct way to look at it.
Yeah.
This is the correct way to look at
I like our list so far.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay,
it. Top 3, boys.
top 3. Number 3,
Artifact.
I would say Artifact. Artifact is wonderful. I mean, it's our number 3, but I don't think it's above Smash or God of War.
It honestly pains me to see Super Smash Ultimate at number 2 on this list. I don't agree with that whatsoever, but it made its way up there, so it...
Well, would you rather have Artifact above?
No, I wouldn't even have Artifact above. I don't think that, like...
So
I don't think Artifact would.
I think
that's the thing,
Artifact
I think
as-
Artifact. Is
Well, okay, so
not-
in a perfect scenario, if Super Smash wasn't there, what would you see up there?
Well, personally, I see Dragon Ball Fighter Z above Super Smash myself. So if Dragon Ball Fighter Z is 4, I would see Smash as 5.
Yeah.
If Dragon Ball Fighter Z is 3, I'd see Smash as 4. So like that's already one change that I would have made, but
Yeah,
it's
but
not like that would complicate things a bit, so we wouldn't do that.
I can't even see that reality. That's
Yeah.
the thing. Which is,
That's okay.
I mean, I'm sorry.
That's
I
fine.
just don't.
That's fine.
I can't.
That's honestly the only change I would make. I would if it was up to me, I would put Dragon Ball Fighter Z as like number 2.
I would even put Dragon Ball Fighter Z as number 3 and Artifact as number 4. Like I like Artifact, but not that much, dude. I mean, like it's kind of a very.
I don't
flawed-
know.
Honestly, I would be willing to do that
no,
too. personally.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Well, let me tell you. I'll put it to you this way. I know.
I don't
We
know
all
about
we
that.
are all.
I don't know about
I will agree with your earlier assessment that we all like it. But here's where my like ends: is I'm done with my 5 tickets that I got for the 20, and I don't imagine myself ever playing this game alone again until big updates. Until big updates when it's no longer even resembling the early access that it is now.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's where my like ends. But you're trying to play Constructed, and you haven't
Yeah.
even played Draft all that much.
I
right?
have been.
Oh, have
playing
you
it.
been?
Yeah,
Do you
I
like
have
it?
been. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
good.
Draft is really
yeah,
fun, right?
I like Draft.
I cannot imagine playing it alone. So my like ends alone and
You know
begins
what?
in the back house,
Yeah.
and that's it. That game is a back house game.
Yeah. And, like, you know what, man? Like, it's maybe I'm still in the honeymoon phase for it. Like, I love that game a lot. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be kind of like my Hearthstone, like what Hearthstone was to us.
But when?
What do you mean?
It is Hearthstone still to me. Actually.
Oh yeah, are you still playing
yeah,
it?
Yeah, he
I
plays
play
it.
it. It's still
But-
still playing the role as Hearthstone.
For sure.
For Artifact, my personal experience with it right now is
Yeah.
I'll play one match like once in a while,
Yeah.
but it takes a handful of
Yeah,
times
it
of me
takes-
looking
it
at
takes
it,
time.
thinking about if I want to play it, saying nah this time. Because the matches are sort of lengthy and it's repetitive.
I feel
and I know the
depressed
cards.
loading it up and knowing I have nothing to do in it. I feel like annoyed when I don't have a lot of cards and I know I have to pay for cards. I feel like it doesn't. So you guys are saying you don't get the good sensations from RDR. I only get the good sensations from Artifact when I'm winning a game in the back house.
Well, when we're in the back house, I'd much rather play Super Smash Ultimate than Artifact to begin with.
I don't
so.
see it in top 3 myself. But if we're putting it there, definitely number 3. But I can see it going mid.
If it goes to 4, I would bump the Dragon Ball Fighter Z to to 2 because
Yeah,
I would
see-
put Smash as 3 personally. But
The way that you guys are talking about it, I could see Artifact going down too.
But
Like,
do you agree? Do you see?
I do totally. Yeah.
Because I don't want to
totally.
like twist your arm. If you really
No,
love
no,
the
no.
game, I mean,
I do love the game.
let's do 2 fighting games for the top 3 this
Yeah,
year.
but like
huh?
that's also the thing.
That's
Like,
funny.
isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
We're gonna
But
give
it
2
makes
fighting
sense.
games for.
We had 2 amazing fighting games this year, right? We have 2 just out of like craziest fighting games that have ever been have happened this year, right?
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I'm just trying to visualize like if it makes sense bumping Artifact down.
Well, what would you
Um,
bump up if not Dragon Ball Fighter Z? You know,
Marvel Spider. I'm kidding.
Red Dead Redemption
Red Dead?
2, baby.
Red Dead is back.
Bro, honestly,
Hey,
Red Dead is the
we
type
should
of
do
game.
it. Yeah, we should
Red
do
Dead
it.
is the type of game I either see it low or high.
Yeah.
It's not mid. It's low or high.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Like-
so we bump everything down by 1. We bring Red.
I mean,
Dead
RDR is a
Redemption up.
revenge story, right? Time for it to get its revenge.
Yeah, dude.
Okay,
No, we're not moving over. We're not touching RDR. I think it's in a perfect
but I
spot.
honestly think
Um,
Artifact being in the top 3 is odd to me. I'm not saying I completely disagree, but that game
You know,
truly
yeah,
is just kind of
it's
like
like,
whatever game.
You know, like we
now,
awarded it.
right now.
We awarded it most potential. I feel like it does have most potential.
does.
I don't
but
think
it's not there
yet.
yet.
It's not there yet.
That's why I asked
not
the
there yet.
question literally
Yeah.
to you. I mean, I said, when are you gonna? When is it gonna be your Hearthstone?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
when?
No, you're right.
Not
Yeah.
now.
No,
not,
I'm with you.
Not in
I'm
2018.
totally with you. Yeah.
Do we want to
Um,
take it down
Yeah, take it down.
I'm okay with taking it down.
to number 4?
Yes. I don't want to see it anything under than 4.
No, truly, Hitman is the best 5.
Yeah.
And it going under Hitman is kind of weird.
Yeah.
So-
I wouldn't.
I like Artifact at number 4, but now do we bump Dragon Ball Z Fighter Z up?
Yes.
Yeah. I think so.
Okay.
I think if a game is
Alright.
going up into high, it should be Fighter Z.
All right, man.
All right.
Wow, man, I'm excited. We got Fighter Z is up there. Fuck yeah.
Let's do 3 for it then, I guess.
Okay, so I'm putting Artifact for 4, and we're putting Dragon Ball Fighter Z for 3.
Let me tell you, dude, all I wanted out of this list was for Artifact not to be top 3. Truly, that game is like not top 3.
It has its most potential.
It has most
And
potential.
So, like, maybe this time next year, Artifact is going to be something very different.
Yeah.
But, we're not there yet.
Yep, I agree. I
So-
agree with that.
But that being said, I think Artifact is good. I
Yeah.
think the way that they approach the entire, like, just like card packs and everything, I like it a lot. I think it's a lot better. It's like, it's not predatory the way Hearthstone is. It's not
It's a
predatory.
different. It's in front of your face.
It's very much in front of your
versus him
face.
back stabbing you in the back.
Exactly. And like I appreciate that. It's like it's a breath of fresh air.
Who
that
wrote Dota 2
this
as number one?
absolutely perfect. That wasn't me.
Dirty little secret.
So okay, now it's
Just the
between
original,
one,
man. Just
The
Dota 1.
original.
But now it's between 1 and 2.
There's no competition.
I mean, there's none, but we had to keep some suspense for our viewers.
There's no suspense for the viewers that.
But let's
know
talk
these
about
games.
Super Smash and why
Yes.
it's number 2. Super Smash to me offers one of the most complete packages of any game out. It is quite astounding how much they've managed to fit in and managed to keep as polished as they do. It has. I don't think I disagree with David in saying that it's a balanced game. I don't think that it's a balanced game, nor does it need to be because it's not a traditional fighter. It's a very good party game, a very good brawler. It has everything for everybody. You could play 1v1s. You could play 4-person Smash. You could do items, no items. You could play whatever map you want. Choose your music. The level of customization is astounding. And the single-player campaign is really fun, actually. Like, it's really, really fun.
Yeah, they did a
Unlocking
really
the
good job
stuff.
with all the spirits and
Yeah, very
well
cool
done.
stuff. They've included a lot of interesting like homages to their prior games and other games. Like when you're doing in the single player, when you're playing Ryu, let's say, and you're versing like something else, it's literally like the Street Fighter like things that he would verse. But analogous to Super Smash. So they did a lot of fun things with that game.
Yeah, and
That-
then also you have to mention the music. I think what they
music
did
is
with the music is really
amazing.
good because like they got like classic tunes from the games that you recognize, but they got different composers to compose it. So
Yeah.
like there's a lot of overlap. So you
Yeah.
have like the band that did Splatoon making music for Mario. Like it's weird. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Like the way that they did it is really cool.
It's funny, Mahat and I have a little meme where we say all roads lead to Balloon Fight because the Balloon Fight map and the music in Balloon Fight is probably some of the best. that
Yeah, it's
we've-
top notch.
Yeah, it's really good.
My King K. Rool song is the best.
Yeah.
It's the best. I love it.
And I know Areg is like in pain in some ways because he wants Dragon Ball FighterZ like right there or right up
Well,
there.
I feel like it would be above Super Smash Bros. Like when it comes to fighting.
I think when it comes to fighting games, I'm with Arik. I think when it comes to like a better fighting game,
yeah,
I think Fighter Z is like significantly. There
Sure.
is a little bit of a drag when you're playing Super Smash. Like it's not as crisp as I want it to be.
Sure.
And
Sure,
Yeah.
it's floatier, but that's what it's
but that's
trying
just
to
part
do.
of the
Yeah,
game. That's just what it is.
And let
Like
me
it's
tell
not
you-
meant to be like this crazy competitive.
Yeah.
It's just like how people play it.
but it's
you
not
know, and-
new. It's old. It's like, you know what I mean? It's not like something new. It's not like something innovative at all. It's the same old Smash, same
Yeah.
old characters. Looks almost practically the same.
Yeah.
It's the same.
But it's all of it. It's like
Yeah.
taking everything that Smash has been and saying this is the ultimate. Like it's literally in the name. Like they know what they were doing. You know what I mean? And like I said for Spider-Man, not every game needs to innovate. Sometimes a game just comes along and says, I've just wrapped this package better than it had been
No,
wrapped
you're
before.
totally right, and that's why Spider-Man's 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like Ultimate 2 is like really high for me, but it didn't. You know, what it
And
does
dude, I
well.
mean, you say all this, but then the amount, Areg, that you scream when something funny
when I'm
happens
playing,
in
yeah,
Smash.
but see, it's such a very situational
Yeah.
circumstance of where all four people are playing. And then I'm like in it, and it's really fun, and it's
Yeah.
exciting, and it's like a game I'm super down to play. Four people are gonna play it. 3 people are gonna play it. I'm still down, still pretty fun. 2 people are gonna play it 1v1. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't even care to watch it. Honestly, I don't care to watch it at all. I don't
See,
care to
that's
watch
where I differ.
any 2
Sometimes
people
it's like
playing.
a ballet, dude, to watch like the 1v1. It's so.
No, I
it's so
tried,
insane.
not at all, but like no, I can't. I even watched like YouTube tournaments, fighting tournaments. Like I was curious. I was watching like Dragon Ball Fighter Z tournaments, and then I was watching the same players
in Smash.
in Smash doing that, and I derive way more fun from Dragon Ball Fighter Z
It has more style.
than like Super Smash.
It has more style.
Watching
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
like it being a ballet or anything, combinations and moves and.
Fair.
I don't know. Super Smash just looks like the same Super Smash as from every other time I've seen Super Smash, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, fair.
But yeah.
We have our list.
Well, hold on. So, are we good with Smash at second,
Sure.
Dragon Ball at 3?
I can't see Smash below Dragon Ball's Fighter Z. Like I don't see that world. No matter what anyone tells me, like it makes no sense to me. I can't like put my name on this list. I know that's an ultimatum, and that's like a very dick move of me. But I can't. Like it doesn't compute. Really doesn't. To see like Super Smash is just an amazing article. It's an amazing article to behold. To me,
Yeah. Well,
you guys seem depressed.
no. I can't move on unless Artifact is number 1.
Yeah, I know. An ultimatum does suck, dude. But I
guess
can't.
we're
I
stuck.
can't.
I guess we're stuck, guys.
Well, yeah. No, I mean, it is what it is. I think Super Smash should be above Dragon Ball, but
I see what you guys are saying. It's the Dragon Ball Fighter Z is the better fighting game, but I think Super Smash Brothers Ultimate is the better game.
Sure.
That's how I look at it.
I can agree with that. Let's wrap that
Yep,
number 2 up,
that's cool.
and let's do number
And then
1.
next up we have God of War.
Last
so
up.
we've been kind of avoiding talking about this game
Because it was clear.
it was clear. Yeah.
So just for a spoiler for the viewers, it was literally number 1 on all of our personal lists. So from even the beginning, we knew that this was Game of the Year. I think most people knew it was Game of the Year. It's won Game of the Year, I think, almost everywhere. And
Red Dead has won a few things, I think.
best narrative and best this and
Yeah.
that, yeah.
It came out rather early in the year, no?
Yeah, I did. And,
It did, yeah.
that's the thing. I'm replaying it as is Emin right now.
Yeah.
And it still has the staying power. That's
I wanted
what
to. I wanted to replay just to remind myself. It's
Me
like
too.
like was I right? Well, when I played it, like,
Or was I
just
deluded?
in like, oh yeah, or was it like a honeymoon phase? But no, it's very solid. Like
It's
it
very
plays
solid.
well. The challenge is good. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's
It's a game that is. So this is the thing.
like the narrative is very like it grasps you,
It
man. And
grasps
just
me.
the acting too, man.
Yeah.
Like the way they did a lot of those like facial
Boy.
capture and stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
It's yeah.
It-
you can feel Kratos, man. Like when
Mhm.
he's like talking, like it's very bassy and kind of gets into your bones and.
And he has different ways Like I noticed, like he has a different way of talking when he's calm versus like when he's in the thick of it and he's giving his son a command. It's more of like, okay, we're on a team now. Like you see the
Yeah.
son Aeatris and the father Kratos moving together in tandem and growing together both as characters and as people. And it's not just like Kratos teaching his son how to be a warrior and how to suck it up and all this stuff. Kratos learns a lot from his son. I just want to.
Nothing is like really kind of told you up front. Like it's very subtle. Like it's
Yeah,
kind of
it's
up to
Dark
you to
Souls-esque
figure it out.
in a way.
Yeah, in a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Like that's the interesting thing about it. Like it's
When we
it's not in your face.
When we first saw God of War like trailers and stuff like that, that's the first thing we thought was, oh my god, it looks very Dark Souls-esque. And that's what we were really hyped about initially about it. Like combat included looked like it was Dark Souls-esque combat.
Yeah.
It's cool because like I could talk to death about this game, and I think I will a little bit. But since it is our number one, I think I would love to say things about it. But if it just had been a Dark Souls-esque game, if it had just been like, because it would have been so easy. So let me preface this by saying Sony Santa Monica, I think they're the ones who did it or whatever. So they revitalized a brand that had been failing and declining, and they could have easily have done one of two things. They could have easily have renovated the entire thing and gone on the bandwagon of Dark Souls-esque, played it like that. Or they could have doubled down on what God of War was from the beginning and just made it modern and
Just made another one of those.
And just made another one. And what they decided to do to me was the option with much more integrity and much more innovation, because what they've done is they've paid a proper respectful homage to how God of War used to play. Because if you get really down and nitty gritty with the combos, it's still a silly, crazy action game. You keep enemies in midair. You do fun shit with like all the button combos. Like it's crazy, right? But it has the slow methodological, right? It has that methodical. Sorry,
there you go.
It has the methodical way that Dark Souls would play. It has both, and it navigates that line better than so many games.
And I think it kind of like just the way that the gameplay has shifted from God of War kind of goes into the narrative too, because like Kratos is getting older. He has a son
shield.
Now. Yeah, he has a shield. He has a son now. You know, like it's like just like a tree that's getting older. Like like it just bows his head a little bit more, and like you see it in the gameplay too.
And
like
the
it's not as
narrative,
hectic as it used to be, and the narrative is not as like crazy as it used to be. Like he's not as vengeful as he used to be. And just the gameplay reflects that. Like what they've done, it's
a slow burn. It's a simmering anger. It's like
it's like an onion, dude. Like there's a lot of layers to it.
Yeah.
This is how you properly evolve a game in its series.
Yeah.
The way that God of War did.
Amazingly
I
put.
think and it's still a God of War game, like you said. So
it doesn't lose its identity.
Right.
Yeah.
And it just mirrors the way, like in my mind, that Assassin's Creed took it. You know,
and
it did just a terrible job in the way that it evolved the game.
Yeah.
It just killed and ruined the game completely. It went in such a different direction. That's why it's not even making the list at all.
Yeah.
You know, whereas they could have both been tremendous series. Like at the start of like Assassin's Creed's life, it could have been what God of War is today. If they had followed like a similar kind of evolution style with it, you know.
The identity is respected. They don't throw it away. And I have to say too, like there are very like meta ways I like this game too, because I've listened to the game director Cory Barlog. I've listened to him.
Cory Balrog.
It's almost Balrog, but it's Barlog.
Yeah, it's switched.
Yeah. It trips me out every time. I've listened to a ton of his interviews. I've actually watched the game being played with his director's commentary over it,
cool.
and listening to his explanations. And like he used this game as a way to get closer to his son. And a way because his fatherhood is something he's uncertain about. And so it's just like this insane, it's this labor of love.
It's a project.
That they sat there and he was saying like, you know how the main thing of God of War is that it's all one cut? It's like there's no ever cut. It's all one shot from beginning to end of the game. He said he had to fight for that. That wasn't a thing that they had the whole time. But it's so distinct in its identity. And I just can't believe that they were able to do something like so audacious and so amazing. And you get the cool companion on the head, Mimir, who's always bringing up these cool Norse mythology. Like, this game is not afraid to take you places you didn't even know you wanted to go. That's its strength. That's its true strength.
Yep. That's very much a masterpiece.
It deserves one.
Yeah.
It deserves number one.
There's no dispute here. I can't wait for a year where number one is disputed
yeah,
heavily.
I'm excited for that because
games.
last year we were all on the same
maybe
on the
next
same board
year,
too.
dude. Maybe
I want
next
that.
year.
That's what I want. I want us to have like 3 or 4 games where we're like, oh, they're definitely 1 or 2.
Yeah.
You know, not like one game that definitely takes one
Well,
stands out.
last year was kind of disputed. It
Not
wasn't
really.
complete.
A little bit.
Yeah,
Not-
well,
not
you,
for
'cause
number
you
one.
turned your
The
opinion
three
at
of
the
us,
end.
the 3 of us, like all pretty much agreed with it.
Yeah,
It
I
was
turned my opinion like a
controversial.
month or so before. Like
Yeah, you
I
did.
I sat down and I played both Mario and Zelda. I'm like, it
And you
has
saw
to
it.
be Mario.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
way.
It was very controversial amongst like our audience and some other people and stuff. You know, they thought that Zelda
yeah.
definitely should have taken number 1. But, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is our list, like we said, so.
Yeah.
I am very happy.
I'm very happy with this
and,
list.
And I gotta say again, whoever has a PlayStation 4, buy God of War. It is
Yes. Yeah.
an astounding article of gaming, and I think it'll go down even well down the line. But this isn't to say it doesn't have its flaws. It has plenty of flaws. Reused enemy types, not enough variety in the enemy types, for instance. It has a lot of backtracking if you're not a fan of that. It's
Well,
Metroidvania
It's
in
not
that
the
regard.
perfect game. It's
not
the
the
game
perfect.
of the year of 2018, you know?
Yeah.
But that's hence why also PS4 got our best console, because God of
Yeah.
War is PS4.
God of
exclusive,
War,
so-
and then Spider-Man's on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
I'm
PS4
trying to
did
think
And
like
Red Dead
the-
Redemption too.
Red Dead Redemption,
Yeah,
but that's
there
not.
you go.
Is that an exclusive?
Yeah.
Is
I-
it not an exclusive?
Oh,
No,
maybe
no,
not.
No,
Maybe
don't
not.
think
It's going to be
I don't
PC
think
now?
so.
Or-
It's gonna
No.
be. It's gonna come to
Maybe
PC
everything.
eventually, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's on Xbox.
Oh,
Okay.
it might be. It might
Yeah.
be.
No, it definitely is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
But so- yeah.
conclude.
Yeah. Well, this
Yeah.
is quite a
We
fun.
did it.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Let's
Well,
read that
read
list.
the
yeah.
list.
Let's go down
Let's
all the way
read
down
everything.
the list. Yeah.
Yeah, just read
Um,
everything once through.
How about we start with accolades?
Yeah. Just go real quick.
Okay.
So we have Sleeper Hit going to Fortnite, Best Style going to Dragon Ball FighterZ, Most Detailed Game going to Red Dead Redemption 2, Most Graphics for God of War, Most Cozy, Most Cozy to Moonlighter, Best Redo to Spyro, Best Trash Game Shell Shock Live, Best Game we missed last year Persona 5, Best Puzzle Game Money Puzzle Exchanger, Biggest Blunder we have that going to Fallout, Biggest Shame I'll reword and everything once we actually publish it. But
Yeah.
Blizzard announces Immortals and cancels Heroes of the Storm. Most potential we have to Artifact, Best Party Game Overcooked 2, Wish I Played It, Destiny 2 Forsaken,
Yep.
Dirty Little Secret Dota 2, Best Package Dead Cells, Late Entry Ashen. And we have our Console of the Year PS4.
I am incredibly happy with this accolades list. Like
Yeah.
I'm like I don't think I heard a single thing that I just don't agree with.
It's
Yeah.
just everything
It's
makes
solid.
sense. Yep.
Yeah.
We have our honorable mentions in no order. We have Gwent Thronebreaker in no particular order. Gwent Thronebreaker, Into the Breach, and Northgard.
Yep.
And then top 10, starting from number 10, we have Marvel Spider-Man. At number 9, Red Dead Redemption 2. Number 8, we have Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire. Number 7, Slay the Spire. Number 6, Subnautica. Number 5, Hitman 2. Number 4, Artifact. Number 3, Dragon Ball FighterZ. Number 2, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And our Game of the Year, God of War.
Boom, boom.
How about that?
How
about that?
Quite
I
a lot
am
of
very
discussion.
happy with this list.
I am
I
pretty
think
happy,
everything here, yeah, it's fantastic.
Hey there, hello.
Hey there, hello.
Hey there, hello. It's Tuesday.
We did a good job, guys.
Oh yeah,
I
Whew.
believe so. Again, this took a lot out.
Open
of
up
me.
chat.
yeah, yeah. Let me open
Are
up
there-
chat.
I don't even know how many people
Yeah,
are chatting.
let's see who's
or
here. Handful of people. Let me see how I could do this. Oh boy.
Oh, whatever. If chat opens, opens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But
Mhm.
everybody that's still watching, thank you very much. You hung out with us while we came up with our top 10 list. Everybody else who didn't hang out with us while we came up with the list can just check out the list once we put it up on the website.
Or just watch this video later, as actually many
Yeah.
people do.
Well, you know, someone might take a look at the list and be like, I don't know how this became number, whatever number this game is. So
Yeah.
I want to go see what they were saying about this.
Yeah.
You know, so you might want to like figure out why we put what we put, maybe like why Red Dead is number 9, et cetera, et cetera. So maybe you're just so furious about Red Dead being number 9 that you don't even want to take a look at it at all. You just know that it's going to be blasphemy. Whatever the case, you know, you
Yeah.
might be curious to check it out. Do subscribe to our channel if you haven't already.
Yes,
You know,
please.
And
yeah.
yet again, mail us your lists as well if you have a top 10 list, or even if you have just a top 5 list, or maybe
Or if
you
you
have a top
agree
3
or
list.
disagree with some of our choices, like
let us
I'd
know.
be interested in hearing it.
If
yeah.
you would like reorder our list and maybe tell us how you would have put it ordered in a different way, but keeping the same games, you could just mail us. You know,
yeah,
our email
mail
is,
at the next LVL.
LVL.com.
Yep.
That's us.
There you go.
Yeah, how about that, guys?
Yeah, well, again,
Well, I mean, we're signing us off for the year.
yeah,
I
this is the
think
last
this is the
episode of the year.
last
That's
official.
true.
We might, I don't know, who knows?
We
Life
might
is
do
short. We
something
might do
small,
something like just out of nowhere.
But the Level Up live stream.
yeah, the Level Up
and
live stream.
is-
We'll be back like January, sometime in January.
Yeah, early to mid-Jan. We
yeah.
should have our first episode.
Yeah, we're gonna take a
Whether-
few weeks off and
yeah.
just kick up our feet and just relax a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We hope everyone has a Merry Christmas, a
yeah.
Happy Holiday, whatever you celebrate, and
Yeah.
enjoy the rest of your break.
If you
yeah.
guys have suggestions for what game you want us to start off the next year
Ooh.
with, too, let us know.
I think we want to start off with God of War, right? Because we start off with the game of the year from the previous year.
How about that?
We-
I'm down
we
to
can,
start.
we
I'm
could.
down for anything else, but just an idea.
I like that tradition, yeah, because we played Mario
That's an
Odyssey
option,
at the
yeah.
beginning of this
That's
year.
surely an option.
Yeah. how
Well,
about that?
nonetheless, any
Alright.
suggestions, critiques, hate, love, praise, anything?
Hey, Merry
Complaints?
Christmas, Lorik, and
Oh.
hi, Marianne.
Hi,
Hello, guys.
guys. Hey.
Gals, I should say.
All right.
Loyal watchers.
Loyal viewers and fantastic friends and
Yeah.
fantastic people.
Everybody have a wonderful holidays.
Yes.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Yes.
And see you
All
guys.
that
Game
stuff.
on, keep it up, ball it up, and please check out some of our suggestions from our accolades, honorable mentions, or otherwise.
Yeah.
So yeah, like sometime later tonight, I'm gonna get the official list up on the website, publishing it there. So yeah, go check it out in a little bit, and that'll be there. And these episodes are also going to be in podcast form, going up pretty soon.
Yeah. Oh, this actually brings up a great point. For people who have just joined us, we have our live streams, our Level Up live streams. But before we started Level Up live streams, we had a ton of Next Level podcasts. And we have over 90 episodes of podcasts that you could subscribe to and listen at your leisure.
From the previous year.
Yeah,
Yep.
and you could subscribe on your local podcast app. Usually that's iTunes, but whatever's on your phone, and
Yep.
we're going to be there.
If you search the Next LVL, you'll find us.
Yeah.
Or you could just get there from the website. There's
Yeah.
like a little iTunes thing. So click that.
Yeah, 90 episodes of joy.
Yeah, I think it was like 93, and then we had like 3 Game of the Year stuff.
Yeah,
and then
and
I think
here
we
we
did
have
like a
what,
few
like
other ones. We had
26
2
of these
here.
things?
Oh yeah, what did we get to? We're like, I think we're at
In
30 some. I think we're like mid-30s. Yeah.
Very good.
Mid-30s, yeah.
All right,
All right.
guys.
This is it.
Well, bye.
Happy New Year.
Bye.
See you next year.
Yeah, see you next year. So let me do this. Oh.